What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's episode number 736. KB coming at you from Underground Studios and joining me like he does each and every Thursday episode. It's Thursdays with HK Harrison Krementz via Bloomington, Indiana. What's popping, brother?
Not much. We're chilling. We're ready to get into another episode.
We have a fun episode on deck. We are going to dissect what the is going on with the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going to preview the NFL draft, see what's in store for the Birds, give our final predictions for who the Eagles could potentially draft, all mitigated on them staying at pick 32. The Flyers made some key firings as we record this on Wednesday, you listening on Thursday. And right smack dab in the middle of this episode, a glorious, fruitful, and amazing return to the Underground Sports Philadelphia airwaves by the one, the only, the host with the most, the people's champ, the captain of the nonsense, if you will, the man, the myth, the legend, Pat Pitts, makes his illustrious return to Underground Sports Philadelphia for 2 amazing hours of breaking down his time at WrestleMania 41, WrestleMania weekend out in Las Vegas, breaking it all down with myself and Harrison. And Harrison, you can attest, we recorded the interview earlier today. Not even an interview. It's just the boys chopping it up for the first time since 2021. That's the first time you and Pitts have seen each other, but just so much fun just shooting the shit with the boys and you both geeking out on the world of wrestling, me just consuming as the ultimate casual fan. And we do have some breaking news that we'll talk about on the other side of the interview, but it is amazing news to come to fruition that I think a lot of people have been clamoring for, because after the interview, we determined and looked. The last time Pat Pitts was on the Underground Sports Philadelphia airwaves was July of 2024. So almost a full count, a whole slew of new babies, Harrison, have been born since the last time Pat Pitts graced the airwaves of Underground Sports Philadelphia. But it was so good to see Pat Pitts, and
it was a fun
wrestling
time.
brain is one of a kind.
Yes. It was great chopping it up with a fellow wrestling fan. And we were having so much fun, and you'll get to hear it later.
Yes, so definitely stick around for that. 2 hours of power with Patty Pitts for WrestleMania 41 weekend breakdown. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on everything. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us those 5-star reviews. It goes a long way for helping not only this show continue to grow and take it to new heights. Shout out Jason and Travis. But it also allows all of our shows here on the network to continue to grow. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. And speaking of live streams and original video content, we will be live Thursday night, as you guys are listening to this, 8 Eastern time, for the NFL draft first round, like we are each and every year, reacting to every single pick. And we will have reactions, whether it be on stream or via phone call, from Stephen McAvoy, from Pat Pitts, from Hoots, from Deej, and of course from all of us Eagles fans here at Underground. We will be reacting to all of our fandoms, whether it be the Giants, the Patriots, the Packers, the Broncos, or our beloved Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So tune in at 8 Eastern on our YouTube channel to watch the NFL draft first round with us and get us to 1,100 subscribers. We're 46 away. So let's make that happen sooner rather than later. And this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland. And guys, the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Philly sports fans alike, I do want to just start off the top of the show, and I will go much more in depth this week on the Outside the Box podcast for sure. But I do just want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who consumes our content, because Harrison, your co-host of this podcast, is an award-nominated journalist.
Yes, he is.
Let's fucking ride, everybody.
Congratulations. We got to chop it up.
Insane. Allegedly, I've been nominated the last 4 years, but this is the first one that's been made public knowledge to me. Apparently, your boy found a way to make his way onto the list of nominees for the 2024-2025 National Lacrosse League Tom Borelli Media Person of the Year award list. I put a video out on social. It still has not hit me, and I know I'm not going to be a finalist, and if I am, I will be flabbergasted. But I know I'm not going to be a finalist this year.
Mm-hmm.
But just the simple fact that I'm nominated for an award as prestigious as this for a sport and a league that is a huge stepping stone for our company having success is wild. And I always said from the moment we started covering the Wings in the National Lacrosse League that I'd be content just being a nominee for this award. It's crazy to see my name listed amongst all of these people. And for context here, Harrison, because you do know a lot of these names from being part of OTB and just following along with the NLL and everything. I'm going to read these names to you just to get your reaction to see who I am listed amongst, because genuinely it's an insane list. So I'm listed amongst the following names: Andy Lindhall, who is the Colorado Mammoth play-by-play announcer; Bud Bailey, who is a journalist from the Buffalo Sports Page; Cody Jansen, who is the Saskatchewan Rush play-by-play announcer;
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Perkins, who is the San Diego Seals and ESPN play-by-play announcer; Craig Ripchinsky, who is the Rochester Nighthawks play-by-play announcer; Drew Petkoff, who is the Georgia Swarm analyst; Jake Elliott, who's Vancouver Warriors play-by-play announcer and the Las Vegas Desert Dogs analyst, and he also is the host of the Lacrosse Classified podcast.
Not
Jamie
the Eagles?
Not the kicker for the Eagles. Jamie Shuchuk, who is the Colorado Mammoth analyst. Jason Tassi, who's an Ottawa Black Bears analyst. John Gertler, who is the Buffalo play-by-play announcer, who's the guy that you would know his voice. Whenever somebody from the Bandits scores a goal, he's like, and Josh Burr, score! He's got one of the best voices in the game. Yours truly, and apparently on this list, it is listed as Underground Philadelphian. Call me Phillies Trent Krim. How we doing? Keep it moving. One of my favorite humans on earth, Mackie Jenner, who is the Halifax Thunderbirds and TSN reporter. Fucking love Mackie. I hope she wins the award this year. She deserves it. She would be the fourth woman to ever win an award in the NLL ever, which would be amazing. Awesome. Plus, Mackie's a Birds fan. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
But Mackie's awesome. I genuinely hope she wins this year. Morgan Worth, who is a Las Vegas Desert Dogs reporter. Pat Gregoire, Halifax Thunderbirds, TSN analyst and host of the Off the Crossbar podcast. Ryan Ballantine, who is a Calgary Roughnecks commentator. Steve Wisniewicz, who is an Albany Firewolves reporter. Teddy Jenner, the legend, TSN play-by-play and Off the Crossbar podcast host. Ty Marrow, who is a journalist for Ty Marrow Lacrosse, and they listed Inside Lacrosse, and I think it's because Ty has it still in his Twitter bio, but Ty put out a very controversial, heated article about how the awards process is very weird, to put it lightly, in the NLL, because Ty apparently has not contributed to Inside Lacrosse for over a year. But yeah, I'm listed amongst those names. It's truly an honor to just be listed amongst those names, and just absolutely fucking wild. But it doesn't happen without people listening, tuning in, following us, and our coverage of the Philadelphia Wings, of the National Lacrosse League. And it's super dope, and it's like super humbling to like see the amount of people, not only in like my direct circle, not only the people that work for our company, but also just like people on the internet that I've met because of this lacrosse thing, that are like stoked for me to be listed amongst those names. It really means a lot. But it's fucking wild. Award nominated podcaster, journalist, however you want to refer to me. Yes, that will be going in the LinkedIn portfolio.
Yes, sir. And as it absolutely should. And hopefully this is the first of many.
Be sick. It'll be one day we'll come home winners, but for now,
just happy to be there.
Happy to be part of the party.
Yeah.
But let us go to the team that is making us pull our hair out right now, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta say is, what the fuck, guys? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck are we doing? Swept out of Citi Field by the Mets.
It's early season, but like, goddamn, figure it out.
Off the heels of a 7-5 extra innings loss on Easter, in front of me, in front of Cooper DeJean, in front of Travis Konechny, in front of Dom Brown, and in front of Cole Hamels.
Yep.
Just
pathetic.
4-game losing streak. Not ideal. The first time they've been swept all season. And I don't know if the Phillies need to bring Sage into Citi Field anytime they go there, if they need to create some sort of like prayer summoning circle. That place is a house of horrors for the Philadelphia Phillies. I believe their record now in the existence of Citi Field, they are now 6-20 all time at Citi Field. That place is a hellscape. Like, we think Truist Park is bad. The Braves Stadium is bad. At least the Phillies have had moments there and have come away with some like iconic wins, and some iconic things have come from playing at Truist Field. Citi Field is an unmitigated disaster zone for the Philadelphia Phillies for whatever godforsaken reason. And I hate that place. I need somebody who is ever going to a Phillies Mets series there to bring sage into the building, to bring frankincense and myrrh and all the incense that the three wise men brought in the old prophecies. Bring it all. Bring rosemary. Bring fucking garlic powder. Bring the fucking seasonings for the cheesesteak into Citi Field. Do what you got. Bring Cheese Whiz for all I care. Do something to get the absolutely disgusting stench of that stadium off of this baseball team, because for whatever reason, Citi Field pops up and the Phillies forget how to play baseball.
We are cursed there. We're genuinely cursed there, and it's awful. I hate playing there. I hate that goddamn team. And hopefully we don't see them in the playoffs this year, because I would be so mad.
It is why, and I tweeted this at the beginning of the series when the Phillies lost 5-4 in a game that was very much there for the taking. That they could have won, should have won. They fell behind 2-0 early. The Mets put up another 3 spot in the 7th, and then you battle back. Bryson Stott hits a home run, and then Trey Turner and Bryce Harper have 2 of the worst at-bats I've ever seen them have in their entire careers. And it's one of those things, Harrison, and I don't think we've ever talked about this, but let me know, as somebody who sits and watches Phillies games, watches this team, how annoying and frustrating and just like mind-numbingly dense do you feel when you see these unbelievable superstars come up to bat for the Phillies and all they're trying to do is play hero ball?
It destroys my brain, and I'm sick of it. These guys should know how to play baseball and how to win games. You don't need to play hero ball 24/7 to win a goddamn baseball game. And I am so sick and tired of it, because you should be winning games. You should be dominating this division. It's right there for us, and yet nothing.
It drives me insane.
Bonkers.
Like, they're just out there swinging at absolute dog water pitches. And you guys know I fucking love Bryce Harper. I loved Bryce Harper when he was on the Nationals. I hated that I loved him then. I love that I love him now.
Yep.
He needs to be better. Like, he's been on a heater the past, 2 weeks or so. But in those situations, he needs to be better. You have to know that in that situation, if you're Bryce Harper coming up to bat, you have Kyle Schwarber behind you. You have Nick Castellanos behind him. You need to know the situation you're in, and the fact that Bryce had that at bat. He was no hits in this game, 2 walks. You've been walked every time. Draw a walk and force them to throw to Kyle Schwarber. I know Kyle Schwarber hasn't been hot as of late, but force them to throw to a guy who with one swing of the bat can turn a game on its head. Make them throw pitches. And that is when the Phillies are at their worst, is when they are not making pitchers throw pitches. Make them earn the at-bat. You're going to battle every single time you're up to bat as a hitter. Make that pitcher earn their fucking paycheck.
Yep. As they should. Like, these are batters who don't need to work around pitchers. You need to attack. And it's infuriating that they aren't doing that.
So they lose game 1, 5-4, in a game that they could have won, probably should have won. And it's frustrating as all fucking hell. Aaron Nola goes 6 1/3, gives up the 4 earned runs, 7 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. He did not pitch poorly in this game. It's just the bats just did not show up. And we were talking about it with Mark after we recorded Top Bins today. Aaron Nola's gotten 6 runs of run support this entire season in 5 games. 4 of those runs came in 1 game. 3 of the games he's pitched this year, he has gotten 0, and I mean that literally, 0 run support.
Insane.
Like, people have their gripes with Nola. I'm not one of those people. I've always been an Aaron Nola believer. He's my guy through and through. I will always support him. When the dude's not getting run support, he can only do so much. He's lost games where opposing teams have scored 3 runs, have scored 2 runs, have scored 4 runs. That should not be a death sentence for this Phillies offense.
No. And I'm just blown away every time I watch them because every game it's something new that's just completely dog shit.
It's
And
crazy.
It makes me want to just stop watching for a little bit, but I can't.
And then on Tuesday, the game that made everyone hold their breath as Christopher Sanchez leaves after 2 innings, strikes out 2, walks 2, gives up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Some left forearm tightness was what it was deemed. Rob Thompson says they did scans and everything. Looks like he's going to be okay.
That's good at least.
Everyone can exhale. Now, what I will say, and I don't know if you're on the same page with me here or not, but in my opinion, you skip Christopher Sanchez one time in the rotation.
Yeah.
Give him an extra game off to really make sure he's okay. Like, let him do some side bullpen stuff, maybe a simulated game, but don't thrust him back out to pitch until you know he's going to be fully okay, because you don't want to risk anything with him.
Yep. And it'd be better to just let it slide for a little bit and then bring him back when he's healthy.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Ranger Suarez, pitched his rehab game. He's going to be pitching again on Sunday, so you're not calling Ranger up in time to be ready to pitch in Christopher Sanchez's turn in the rotation. If that is the case where you were going to skip Christopher Sanchez, but Ranger looks like he's closer to on the mend and back, which is nice, but he is going to pitch again on Sunday for the Iron Pig, so definitely will be keeping an eye on that. The Phillies lose Tuesday. Sorry, it feels like the weekend already. They lose Tuesday, 5-1. The Mets and Phillies should not be playing early, like beginning of week series too. By the way, that's my hot take. MLB schedule makers, the Phillies and Mets should always be a weekend series.
Yeah, it should. It should not be during the weekday. It's too heated of a rivalry to not let it be a weekend game.
They lose this one 5-1. Bright spots from this game, even though there are very few. Joe Ross looked very good in 3 innings of work. Only gave up 1 hit, struck out 3. That's the best performance he's given, in my opinion, in a Phillies uniform so far. So hopefully that's a sign of more to come from Joe Ross when he is called upon out of the bullpen. And I'm not saying Joe Ross is your new, right-handed late inning guy. No, Joe Ross is here to be your long man. That's why the Phillies signed him. He is the Spencer Turnbull of this season, if you will. But if something does happen where a pitcher needs to leave a game early and Joe Ross is showing that he can go multiple innings like this, that's a good sign. I like that from Joe Ross. Jordan Romano, whatever you want to say, I don't know, was fine. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, pitched an inning, looked okay. Tanner Banks gave up an earned run in 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit. Orion Kirkring is... How do I say this? Orion Kirkring is scaring me right now because he's got the stuff. He just doesn't have enough stuff right now. And I brought this up on the last episode when I was talking about the bullpen. Orion Kirkring, it was fun. It was cute and like a great story when he came up in 2023 as this unheralded rookie, was tearing it up in the minor leagues, gets to pitch in the postseason. Very fun. Nobody really knew who he was. If Orion Kirkring is going to survive Harrison as a major league late inning reliever, he has to develop a third pitch.
Yes.
He can't get by on being a 2-pitch pitcher the way that he throws. He has to figure out a third pitch. I don't know if working on that now is the thing, but it is certainly hell of a slump he's going through right now. And currently, as constructed, the Phillies do not have a single right-handed reliever in this bullpen that is anywhere close to reliable right now.
Oh, yeah. And that's annoying as all hell.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And then Carlos Hernandez, who, I don't know, man. Maybe there's a reason the Royals were letting him, get DFA'd, because he has not impressed me whatsoever. And he gives up a hit in his inning of work, gives up a walk, gets a strikeout. He is not impressed whatsoever to me. Like, he has not shown me anything to be excited about. But other positives from this absolute shit show of a game, Bryson Stott looks like a damn good leadoff hitter. And we should have known that was the case because he was a leadoff hitter in college, but he looks so comfortable and so locked in at the plate right now. He's currently hitting 298 on the season, so hovering right around 300. That's exactly what you want from Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott being a I think a lot of people coming into the year would have said if Bryson Stott hit 275, you'd be happy. Bryson Stott hovering anywhere from like 290 to 310 is a complete game changer at the top of the lineup. And I said this on the last episode too, like, Stott being a table setter leadoff guy is so huge for this team because of who's behind him, especially like 1 through 5. If Bryson gets on base, he's got the ability to steal if it's just a single. If he gets on second with a double, a single is going to score him because he has the speed to get home. That's a game changer, just like Kyle Schwarber being a leadoff hitter and potentially flipping a game on its head by hitting a leadoff home run is. I think they've really found something with Bryson being the leadoff guy right now, and I don't want them to even think about moving him out of the leadoff spot for the foreseeable future.
He needs to be in that spot because it provides confidence in himself, and he's doing pretty damn well right now. So,
other positives, Alec Bohm. Anybody? Alec Bohm.
He's turning it around.
Alec Bohm's got a 10-game hitting streak, everyone.
That's incredible.
He's raised his batting average during this hitting streak, Harrison. He was in the 180 territory, 170 territory. His batting average now up to 230, which is like, thank Christ.
Yeah.
The power will come. Bohm has never been a power hitter per se. He's a guy that you think you're going to get probably 18 to 25 home runs from, and that's okay, so long as the other guys in the lineup are hitting. That will come, but it does feel like he's finding his approach at the plate right now, and I genuinely think he's become more comfortable because he's hitting lower in the lineup. There's not as much pressure on him hitting cleanup, hitting fifth, that there is when he's hitting 7th or 8th in the lineup, and I think that's fine. It's not ideal, but it does give your lineup a bit of a different type of length by having a guy like Alec Bohm hitting there, because then it makes the bottom of your lineup a little more potent if Bohm finds his way to what we've come to know him to be as a hitter. But yeah, Bohm's, who would have thought, baseball is a streaky game. Who would have thunk it?
That it is. It's a very streaky game. And it has been for the longest time, and it will be forever.
And on top of that, Johan Rojas has looked good. He's swinging a hot bat right now. That's a positive. I just don't understand the defensive replacement of Johan Rojas, who is a defensive first center fielder. That's been kind of a head scratcher for me over the past couple of games, where like Cal Stevenson is coming into the game to either pinch hit or defensive replace Johan Rojas. Like, that's a head scratcher for me. But Rojas has been playing well. Good for him. He's taken full advantage of Brandon Marsh being on the injured list, and that's what you want to see. And, I still have my qualms about Rojas being an everyday center fielder. I don't think he's necessarily that, but he's a good, talented outfielder that is perfect to be a rotational guy in the outfield for this team. I just don't know if he's the long-term answer in center field.
I agree. And we'll have to see how it pans out, but I really do think that it will eventually just go to oh god, I'm so tired, my mind's blanking. Minor league guy.
Oh, Justin Crawford.
Crawford, yeah.
Yeah, that also remains to be seen. And then today, as we record this on Wednesday, the Phillies lose in extra innings 4-3 to the Mets. Alec Boehm, 3-hit game. Is that good? Is that good?
Pretty good.
Edmundo Sosa still swinging a hot bat, even in limited play time. 2 hits, scored a run in this one. Bryson Stott had the day off, but he did draw a walk as a pinch hitter. Weston Wilson, welcome back. Before this game today on Wednesday, Weston Wilson was activated from the injured list. Cody Clemens was designated for assignment. Harrison, let us all bow our heads and have a moment of silence for Cody Clemens. Thank you. I hope he clears waivers because I really like Cody Clemens. It just sucks that he's out of minor league options, and that's why he had to be DFA'd. Hopefully nobody picks him up because I think he's a good dude and a good fit for this team, and we'll see. Max Kepler came in to pinch hit in this one too. Got a hit in this ball game as well. I don't know. It's Zach Wheeler was good today. You only gave him a 2-run home run to Brett Beatty that inevitably was, kind of a dagger. Pitched 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits. Strom came in, 2 strikeouts, a hit. Jose Alvarado pitched multiple innings, which was great. And then unfortunate Jordan Romano, coughs up the lead and the win for the Phils. But it wasn't even that he pitched poorly. It was just circumstance. But the Phillies get swept out of Citi Field. They're 13-12. I'm not panicking. It is still April 23rd, everyone. Am I concerned with certain aspects of this team? Yes. I'm not smashing the panic button, though. But I do think there needs to be some sort of shake-up change right now to kind of just get people on their toes a little bit and not get stuck in a rut after getting swept by your top rival.
Yep. And it's hard to not get into a rut after something like that, but if any team can fight their way out of it, it's going to be the Phillies.
And I mean, it does not get easier after this Mets series has come to a close. You're going to Wrigley now for 3 against the biggest surprise team in Major League Baseball this year in the Chicago Cubs. They are currently 16-10 at the top of the NL Central, and they are hitting the ever-living piss out of the baseball right now, and they're pitching pretty well. So that's going to be a battle of a series. Obviously, you have the off day on Thursday, which I think is nice, but you play Friday at 2:20, Saturday 4:05, Sunday night baseball for the Phillies this week. Great. My sleep schedule is going to be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But you have the Cubs, and then you come back home to play the Nationals Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you have weekend series home against the Diamondbacks before you go back out on the road to play the Rays and the Guardians. And then the Cardinals come to town, the Pirates come to town, then you go to Denver to play the Rockies. You go to a minor league stadium to play the A's, and then Memorial Day weekend rolls around, and you're home against the Braves, and then, home against the Brewers to round out the month of May. It's still, I know Bryce Harper said after the game today, he doesn't want to hear that it's still early, they got to play better. Yes. But at the end of the day, it's still relatively early. I think it's fair to say the panic button doesn't really need to be smashed until Memorial Day rolls around. If they're still playing like this and it's Memorial Day, I'm going to be kind of concerned.
Yep. But it's not, we're nowhere near Memorial Day quite yet. It's a long season. Don't hit the panic button yet.
What they do need to panic about is figuring out the bullpen, though. That's my number one concern right now. Like, I am very, like, my levels of concern for this team are at like 3.5. My levels of concern for the bullpen are at like an 8.8. You need to figure something out quickly for this bullpen and get some fresh arms in there, because it is scary how they literally only have 2 reliable relievers, and it's Matt Strahm and Jose Alvarado.
Ugh. Yeah.
Drives me crazy. Before we keep talking more baseball a little bit here, I want to talk to everybody about our friends at 47 Brand. We love 47 Brand here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Guys, they are the best hats in the game, and I showed Harrison this earlier. I'm going to show it to the people now for the very first time, everyone. If you go to Citizens Bank Park, you got to go to the Alley store, okay? The 47 Brand Alley store out in left field in Ashburn Alley, because they got these sweet Philly Fanatic hats that are just to die for. Absolute legend on the lid. They have them in this colorway. They have a red one. They have a maroon one as well that are absolutely fire. And Harrison, I'm going to send you a picture of the next one that I am going to get, because it is absolute 90s baby heat from 47 Brand. You guys can shop with 47 Brand. Use our link in the description and shop for your favorite sports fan. And when you join the 47 family, you get free shipping on all orders. So join the 47 family, get free shipping on all orders when you use our link in the description. And we thank 47 Brand for being a proud partner of the podcast. Harrison, let's look at the old MLB standings, if you will. And some run differentials, our favorite segment here during baseball season. If you're new to the program, I read off the run differentials. Harrison guesses the run differentials for the NL East, and then we take a look around the league. It's looking kind of bleak in the NL East right now, though. But we'll start with the NL East, and Harrison, the 18-7 first place New York Mets, 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 7-game win streak. I will give you a hint here before I ask you if you'd like their runs scored or runs against. They are the only team in the division with a positive run differential.
Okay, well, that helps for later. Give me their runs for.
They have scored 105 runs, which is about middle of the pack in the division.
I'm going to say plus 18.
They are at a plus 36 on the season.
Lord.
They have scored 105. They've only surrendered 69. Nice.
I was halfway there.
You were halfway there. Plus 36 for the New
prayer.
York Mets. The 13-12 second place Philadelphia Phillies, who have lost 4 straight, 4-6 in their last 10.
Give me the runs against.
They have given up 115 runs, which is about middle of the pack in the division.
I'm going to say minus 9.
They're at a minus 4. They've scored 111, which is the most runs scored in the division. But they've given up 115 for a negative 4 run differential. Okay. The 11-13 Miami Marlins.
Give me the runs for.
They have scored 106 runs, which is the second most in the division.
I'm going to say minus 10.
They're at a minus 21. They have surrendered a division-high 127 runs on the season.
I think for the third-place team, they would have allowed less.
Yeah, they are the biggest anomaly in all of baseball.
Yeah.
You think one thing, and they do the complete opposite. The also 11-13 Washington Nationals.
Give me the runs for.
They've scored 104 runs.
Just say minus 15.
They're at a minus 12.
Close.
They've given up 116 runs on the season, which is the second most in the division. And then we go to the 10-14 Atlanta Braves in last place, 6-4 in their last 10.
Runs against.
They have given up 104 runs.
104 minus 22.
They're at a minus 12 as well. They have only scored 92 runs on the year. So Phillies fans, if you think we've got it bad, the Braves haven't even scored 100 runs yet. So there's the NL East. We go to the NL Central. The Cubs are at a plus 43. They have scored 163 runs on the year, Harrison. They have scored the most runs in the National League. That's who the Phillies play next. On the bright side, they've also given up 120 runs. So they're hitting the shit out of the ball, but they're also giving up a decent amount of runs as well. The Milwaukee Brewers have clawed their way out of the negative zone. They are now at a plus 14 run differential after the torpedo bat crisis of the early season. The Cincinnati Reds are 12-13. They have a plus 31 run differential, though, even though they're below 500. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 10-15. They have a negative 16 run differential. The St. Louis Cardinals are 10-15. They have a plus 2 run differential. The NL West, the San Diego Padres are 17-8. They have a plus 29 run differential. The LA Dodgers are 16-9. They have a plus 8 run differential. The San Francisco Giants are also 16-9. They have a plus 27 run differential. The Arizona Diamondbacks are 14-9. They have a plus 21 run differential. And then the Derpy Dragon of the NL West, the Colorado Rockies, who are 4-18, have only scored 71 runs, have surrendered to 123, and have a negative 52 run differential. And for the folks at home, through 22 games, they have surrendered 123 runs, which is an average of 5.59 per game. You multiply that by 162. The Rockies are on pace to give up 905 runs. Still not in the 1,000 mark, but I'm sure we'll get there sooner rather than later. But they do have the worst run differential in the National League. The American League, the Yankees have a plus 31. The Red Sox are at a minus 3. The Blue Jays are a minus 16. The Orioles are a minus 28. And hey, everyone wants to be up in arms about the Phillies. We could be the 9-14 Baltimore Orioles. The Tampa Bay Rays are 9-14 as well, but they have a plus 4 run differential. The 15-10 first place Detroit Tigers. Shout out to Deej, a plus 30 run differential. The Tigers are fun this year, man. If you want a fun team to watch right now, the Detroit Tigers are doing it big time. The 14-10 Cleveland Guardians have a negative 5 run differential. The Kansas City Royals are a negative 23. The Twins are 9-15 and have a negative 15. And the Chicago White Sox are 5-19 and have a negative 33 run differential. And the AL West, Harrison, we finally have somebody in the positives. We have multiple teams in the positive. This was the division of negativity the last time we recorded.
Wow.
The first place 14-9 Texas Rangers, though. They've scored 75 runs. They've given up 86. They're 5 games over 500 and have a negative 11 run differential. The Houston Astros have a plus 11 run differential. The Seattle Mariners have a plus 3 run differential. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have a negative 18 run differential. And the 10-13 Oakland Athletics, yes, the Oakland Athletics, have a negative 21 run differential, have surrendered 121 runs on the year, which is the second most in the American League because the Orioles have given up the most at 129, which is more than the Colorado Rockies. Big old yikes. That's the wraparound Major League Baseball to check in on the run differentials brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, if you want to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going to Citizens Bank Park, watching the games with your friends at the bar, hanging out at home, you got to be wearing your PHI Apparel Company gear because with their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our mind you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co. Use code underground at checkout to get 10% off your next merch order. Again, that's phiapparel.co. Code underground for 10% off your next merch order from the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia, PHI Apparel Company. Harrison, we have one final statistic to look at before we kick it to ourselves with Patty Pitts, and that is the Platinum Plunk standings. And if you're new to the program, it's the most fun thing to look at. We take a look at who's getting hit by the most pitches in Major League Baseball based on overall team, overall players, and Philadelphia Phillies. Harrison, we have a new standalone leader in the clubhouse in the National League all by himself. He was tied the last time we recorded.
Oh,
Cincinnati Red, Blake Dunn, all alone, leading all of baseball and the National League all by himself. Been hit by 6 pitches so far in 2025. And then in the American League, we have a 3-way tie for first with 2 teammates. And the lead in the American League is 4 hit by pitches. Randy Arozarena, Ty France, former teammates, and Luke Raley, also of the Seattle Mariners. They've all been hit by 4 pitches. Randy Arozarena, the reigning overall Major League Baseball player to be hit by pitch last season. The team standings, we have a tie at the top. The Minnesota Twins and Seattle Mariners in lockstep have both been hit by 16 pitches so far this year in 25, 26-ish games. The Yankees have been hit by 14. The Colorado Rockies, the Angels, and the Blue Jays have all been hit by 12. The Reds, Astros, Dodgers, and Mets have been hit by 11. The Diamondbacks, Orioles, Cubs, and Brewers have been hit by 10. The Red Sox, Guardians, Tigers, Royals, and Marlins have been hit by 9, which is your league average. The Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals have been hit by 8. The Philadelphia Phillies, Texas Rangers have been hit by 7. The Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals have been hit by 6. The Chicago White Sox, the San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants, and Tampa Bay Rays have been hit by 5. And at the bottom, the Oakland A's have only been hit by 1 pitch this season. So that's your team leaders there. And we have some new members of the Philadelphia Phillies clubhouse in terms of the hit by pitch category. Obviously, for the longest time, it was just Kyle Schwarber who had been hit by pitches so far this year for the Phils. But now, since we last recorded, hit by pitches have been recorded by Kyle Schwarber with 2, Alec Boehm with 2, Trey Turner with 2, and Max Kepler with 1. It's felt like the past couple of games, too, the Marlins series and the Mets series, people have been throwing way inside to Alec Boehm and Trey Turner far more than anything I can remember. It's wild how they're pitching so inside to those guys.
It seems like they're trying to hit them.
Literally. But there's your Phillies update. Schwarber, Boehm, Turner, Kepler, you're all part of the hit by pitch club there. And that's your Platinum Plunk standings as we inch closer to the end of the month, where we'll give out the first month award winners at the end of April. And it's brought to you by Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, guys, as always, please drink responsibly. Harrison, we've got a fun 2 hours of power with the man, the myth, the legend, the people's champ, the host with the most, Patty Pitts, on deck for the people, talking WrestleMania, talking Raw after Mania, talking Pat McAfee after Mania, and a whole lot more. A very fun topic of conversation with Pat Pitts. It's his wheelhouse, and we get a little bit of breaking news that we'll dissect on the other side. But our sit down with the man, the myth, the legend, Pat Pitts, brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. Guys, we love FOCO here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. It is truly your one-stop shop for your forever collectibles. Check out their entire WWE capsule. They've got bobbleheads, the friendship bracelets, and more, plus all of their apparel, merchandise, and collectibles for your favorite sports fan across all the major professional sports leagues and college. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at FOCO and upgrade your forever collectibles today. Again, use our link in the description and shop with our friends at FOCO. And we thank FOCO for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. And now, without any further ado, everybody, it's KB, it's Harrison, and it's Patty Pitts talking wrestling on Underground Sports Philadelphia.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Well, look who we have here, everybody. It is a very fun portion of the podcast. We teased it on social media quite a bit, and making his illustrious return to the underground post WrestleMania 41 weekend. It is the host with the most, the people's champ, the king of nonsense, master of the yeet, Mr. Patty Pitts.
What is poppin', my peeps? I'm happy to be back in the underground, my dude. You have a friend? Last time I was here, I was alone. Now we have a...
The last time you two connected was literally getting your MTV Cribs tour of the Pitts Cave.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, Harrison has slept in where we're recording
house.
right
Yes.
In my house. Yes, where I'm recording. Harrison has slept.
Yes. And it was a hell of a time.
Dude, we played the 18-hole par 3.
Yeah. Oh awesome. My God. That was a fun ass time too. I just hit the links again the other day, and the whole time I was just thinking, man, I remember that time I was up in Boston. We were just drinking stateside seltzers and hitting some golf.
Oh my God. Balls. Still the best drink glasses my parents have got. They use the shit out of them. I don't use them at all.
So funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you as soon as you logged on, I just was overcome with immense happiness just seeing your face. You're fucking glowing. And it's not just because of your tan from being in Scottsdale and being in Vegas.
The light there freaking me out. Yeah. Dude,
how we living?
Someone asked me today how I'm functioning, and my answer was by the grace of God. So that is kind of how I'm feeling, because we just returned from a 12-day trip residence, it feels like. That's Bender.
Another great word for it.
On the West Coast, from a Scottsdale to a bachelor party for my boy getting married in September. And that was an insane story in itself. That was wild. Yeah, I'm telling the story. So we went to this place after dinner called the Riot Club. Oh. I walk in, there's just women in we'll say underwear. Okay. Whoa. And I'm like, shit, we walked into a strip club. We didn't. It was a club. That's just what uniform was. So you're chilling with Dre, whatever there. And there's this host thing that's right there. So I'm hitting it, playing with them. What the fuck is that? Whatever. So we're just standing there drinking, dancing. They're playing Fiend, WrestleMania's theme song. And out of nowhere, that thing I was just mentioning, the ding, dude, pyro out, just sparklers, just it was pyro with a DJ. We were standing in front of the DJ, and I got hit by one, and I was like, oh, it felt weird. It didn't hurt, but felt weird. And then I took a video of this. I'll send it to you. I can't show it here. there's just that happening, the fireworks going off again, and then a random girl on a horse or something. It was like some like mechanical horse thing, whatever, with just like umbrellas. She just had 2 umbrellas. It was the dude. I felt like I was in the nonsense galaxy. Like that's really what it felt like.
That's your brain just projected into real life.
That's what manifesting is. I have been doing a lot of manifesting. That could be what the manifesting is.
The only thing missing was Jey Uso.
Dude, yeah, I needed my... Oh my God,
That's
I'm
incredible.
telling you.
Or Joe
And then
Just
dude,
playing
we went from Scottsdale to staying in Glendale. Had like 2 days to myself. Was awesome. It was I walked to this place called Dutch Bros Coffee. You ever heard of Dutch Bros?
Mm-hmm.
Dutch Bros is good.
It is.
We stand Dutch. But here's the thing, I don't like Bomba. Like the drink Bomba. Like the boba.
Oh,
like
boba.
Yeah, fuck that. Why do I like I'm
choking
drinking
on
my
tapioca
drink.
balls.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I was drinking it and it just fucking ball shoots up and I'm like,
you're like Patrick in the snowball fight when all the snowballs are just bouncing out of the back of his throat.
Worst fear. That was my fear.
The texture of boba is weird as fuck too. Like I can get behind the topping ones, but the tapioca ones,
No, it's not. So then we went to WrestleMania. Drove to WrestleMania in Vegas, which we'll obviously talk about a lot more here. But dude, let me tell you, Vegas is a hell of a town, hell of a city. All right. So the one night that I did get to go out, I met up with Callie Will, and we go with his boys to this blackjack table, like this casino. We walked through the Bellagio first, and his boys looking for tables. I'm like, dude, stop trying to big dick your way around here. Like, let's dude, we have like $15 tables that are like calling our names. So we go to those. And my buddy just gives me, it's like, here, take this on me. And I just start cooking in blackjack. Like, I was just hitting with like just everything was clicking, whatnot. New dealer comes in. 2 of my boys had shades, said, take the shades off. We got sucked and dried out of that table. Like it was like 3 bad hands in a row. I was like, all right, we got another table. Like that was I would say the high of that experience, because after that I was just standing around watching people gamble. Like it was
That's
entertaining.
Oh
brutal.
you go on a hot hand and all of a sudden they bring out that new dealer and you're like, oh, I'm fucked.
Dude, it was off. He killed the mood 100%. Yeah. The manager, though, we went over to the roulette table. And the manager is like, because we had cigars, and apparently you can only smoke cigars in a certain area, like where the slots are, because of the higher ceilings. Didn't know that was a real rule, but cool. So we're just shooting the shit, and he goes, yeah, the only thing you guys can't do here are smoke cigars and shoot meth. And we're like, all right, well, how, like, shoot heroin? I was like, how do we get from cigars to heroin? Like, how's like those are the 2 things you can't do?
It's like the domino meme where it's like smoking cigars in the casino in Vegas, shooting up heroin.
It was like meth. Oh my God. And so that was a crazy night.
There has to be a story there. Like there has to be a story there.
Why heroin? Like why is that? Like
there had to have been some dude who just decided in the middle of the casino, you know what? Fuck it.
It was insane. And got some McDanks on the way home, flopped into the couch at 3:30, woke up at 6:30 for stand and deliver, baby.
Yes, sir.
You're a menace.
Did you see my TikTok of me going through the arena at 9 a.m.? All right.
What did you end up eating?
Oh, what did I eat?
I know, like you said in the video, that pizza might work.
No, I got chicken nuggets. I got chicken nuggets and fries. It was the old like I couldn't, because I did pizza the night before. I'm like, I came out. Let's try something different. I felt too heavy burger. I was like, I can't do a burger right now. That thing's coming right back up. I just bought this Hardy shirt. I'm not having it come back up on me.
You pulled a dirty Dom. You got your chicken nuggies, your chicken tendies, and a little bit of fries.
Dude, it was awesome. Yeah, so
that's so funny. All right, so Mania weekend occurs. Take us through the build up and everything, just the vibe in Vegas for the event. Obviously, you were here last year for WrestleMania as well. So if you feel the need to compare, contrast kind of the vibe and energy, I know a lot of people are saying that the energy in the arena, and I know you weren't at WrestleMania itself, but a lot of people are saying that like Philly just brought a better vibe. And it might just be because Philly's an actual sports town where Vegas is just a tourist town. And that's what I took away from people saying that too. Is like, yes, there's sports teams in Vegas, but like Philly is a sports town.
Yeah, no, it was like that is something to do with it, but that's not the number one reason, in my opinion. Last year's WrestleMania was something that we will probably not see for another 10 years or 15 years whenever there needs to or there feels like there needs to be a pivotal shift that like gigantic decision like Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, whatever. And it was The Rock, it was Roman Reigns, it was the star power. Where this year it felt like just another WrestleMania, but under good leadership and under someone who understands that it needs to be a show of all shows and all that stuff. The big difference, though, that I will say is that the results, like all the stuff that went down, like the buildup was great, from SmackDown to NXT Stand Deliver, them doing their kind of part where future generations, all that. And I was sitting with people at all three of the events I went to, because if you bought that package, you got the same C3 events. Sitting next to dudes, and I was talking to them about 41, and they were saying how loud it was. They were talking about how certain moments that the IWC was saying on Twitter that it was, oh, the crowd isn't good, like it's quiet and all this. It's a big stadium. It's a dome. There's 60,000 people there. And the dude that said it, he was like, yes, there were 60,000 people here. It was a nightmare, or it was insane for the moment. So like the big difference in the whole like build and compare it's that last year's was so different. You felt the change. Like you were like something was happening, something big was happening that you just didn't know what it was going to be to the magnitude, where this year felt like, all right, we're in this new era now. Like, what's the next thing? Like, John Cena's retiring. All right, like, I don't care if he's telling me I'm the scum of the earth. I'm still going to chant, I love you, John. You have CM Punk and Roman and Seth honestly stealing the weekend, in my opinion, which saved the weekend, in my opinion, where you didn't have that last year. It was one concrete thing that everyone was building to, where this year felt like, all right, we have the big thing we're building to with the WWE Championship, the Undisputed, John Cena, Cody, like those, the passing of the torch. Where, all right, but we have this interesting story, though, with Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. All three are intertwined in ways that not the average fan like yourself, Kyle, knows, but it feels important. Even though you don't know why, you still have that feeling of it's important. So like that plays a factor when you have folks on one. And
I was more drawn in as a very casual wrestling like consumer, where most of my wrestling knowledge literally comes from Pat Pitts right here. And I was watching just so that he and I could have fun conversation while he was out there as well. And I was like, let's see how this compares. I watched last year. Last year felt like fucking Avengers Endgame with everything going on. Like Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson are wrestling with Rey Mysterio, like insane type shit. And this year I'm like watching, and as a casual fan, I'm more like entranced by all the Seth and Punk and Roman Reigns stuff, because to me, the Cena Cody stuff fell very flat, and we'll get into that more obviously, but it felt like there was more like at stake and more to come from the storyline of Seth, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Heyman, all of them, and what that story is going to culminate to be. Like, I try to compare wrestling to Marvel so that my brain can comprehend it, because my brain can only hold so much knowledge to a degree, and wrestling and Marvel have a good kind of, ebb and flow there.
You have your heroes, your villains,
right?
You know who you want to root for. You know who to root
There's
against.
build-ups to certain things and everything like that. Cena and Cody felt like I was watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, while Seth, Roman, Heyman, and CM Punk and that whole storyline and a lot of the other non-main event matches felt like I was watching like Loki or Moon Knight or the new season of Daredevil, No Way Home. Like, there was stuff building to where like you can see a vision. Cena and Cody was like, we're coming to the end of a tunnel where there's a light, but that light is actually just a giant thing that says this exit's closed.
Yeah. And for me, what really stole the show were the 2 triple threat matches. Like, as we were talking about, Seth, Punk, and Roman tore the house down on night 1. But I think the real stars of night 2 were Bianca, Rhea, and Io. That match was a 5-star match. It was unreal. And that one felt very much No Way Home, Daredevil season, Born Again season 1, Loki, Moon Knight. It was the good stuff. And to touch on what Pitch was saying earlier, though, where now we're in a better direction with Triple H in charge. This WrestleMania was much more of a letdown compared to last year, but it was still 10 times better than anything Vince McMahon put on in the last 10 years of his reign.
Exactly. That's the biggest takeaway that I have from this, is that you can be mad all you want, but I once sat through an 8-hour WrestleMania where 35. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I sat through an 8-hour WrestleMania where maybe 3 hours was worth my time. And in this new era, you're going to have some things that are going to quote unquote like flop, but they didn't. You're going to have this happen when the show you put on last year is going to go down as one of the most historic, pivotal shows in all of wrestling history. You're going to have it not stand eye to eye with it. You're not, because you have to build your own path to that new generation, that new era. You're going to split off and not have the biggest story be just for the belt. It can be something deeply rooted as 3 dudes who all, were brought up together in a sense, because Punk bringing up Roman and Seth for the Shield. Fun fact that not a lot of people know is that CM Punk did not want Roman Reigns in the Shield to begin with. He wanted Chris Hero. He wanted his pal from Ring of Honor. And Vince was the big pushback that said, no, Roman is our guy. And then when you get to the Shield, you have them go on their career, what they did. And Seth be the one frustrated because Vince is saying Roman is our guy. That's why Seth turned, because Roman was getting that Hulk Hogan push, brother. So there's so many things, because then that's Punk has the same feelings that Seth did, but he wasn't the guy to Cena. He's not going to live up to Cena. He's always going to choose Cena. Rollins not living up to Roman. Like, there's so many little things like that Triple H puts in for the audience that Vince would have watched it go by 10 times over his head.
Yep. He was very much oblivious towards the end of his time in WWE as to what the fans wanted, and he just didn't care. Like, at WrestleMania 30, it took literally the entire wrestling community screaming at him, we want Daniel Bryan. If you don't give us Daniel Bryan, we might stop watching. Give us goddamn Daniel Bryan, for him to be like, fine, have your cake. Enjoy it.
I stopped watching the Royal Rumble when Bryan got eliminated that year. I went upstairs. My friends were here. I had like a party here. I'm like, I'm going upstairs. I can't. Bye-bye. No, like, that's the thing that Triple H does that's so awesome, is that he went through it himself. So he's going to see the shit that Vince never saw, never would have seen, and then implement it for his generation, his kids, we'll say.
Yeah. I was so terrified they were going to take the belt off of Tiffy and put it onto Charlotte. And
a lot of people, man. You and a lot of people.
I'm so glad he listened to everybody and kept it on Tiffy. And also, I think that match was a real low point of the weekend. Not because of anything Tiffy did, but it felt like Charlotte was really sandbagging her the entire time.
A little bit.
I also think Triple H had the interview quote of the weekend where I forget who he was in the sit down with, but I really appreciate, and I really respect Triple H a lot as like an entertainer and a creator and like a business brain, especially somebody who's running a company himself. When he said to whomever he was, and I apologize to whoever the interviewer was, when he said, if I tell you to go watch a movie and just watch it as a fan and just take in the movie and just enjoy yourself, you're going to have a great time. You're going to watch the movie. You're going to consume it. You're going to have fun watching it. If I tell you to go watch a movie, bring a pen and a notepad, and I want you to write a 1-page dissertation on this movie, you're going to watch it through a completely different lens. He was like, the moment that everyone started being a critic or, trying to be like somebody who nitpicks or breaks down things has like ruined a lot about sports and entertainment and everything like that. He's like, you should just go in and watch stuff as a fan and then take away what you watched as a fan rather than trying to just nitpick and tear apart everything. I was like, that's a phenomenal quote that a lot of business people should have in their back pocket. And I do like agree. Like there was so much that was entertaining that was not main event per se from this WrestleMania, but I think the loud internet mob is going to nitpick and critique because you call it a main event and your main event fell flat in a lot of ways, and your night one main event, which I agree with, was far more intriguing, far more encapsulating than your final event of your WrestleMania.
I had a hell of a lot more fun watching El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix than I did the main event of night 2.
You're talking about the greatest luchador of all time?
Stand and salute El Grande
from the Gulf
Americano.
of Mexico.
I love it so much. I don't think it's Chad Gable. I don't
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, come on.
Dude, he doesn't have the back tattoo.
Dude, I like it is probably I love in wrestling the little like B stories is what I'll say, like the B stories of shows, because that's where you see a lot of creativity and a lot of it's like it's intense, it's fun, it's the fun part of wrestling, correct? And El Grande Americano,
so good,
being who he is. It's not only that, it's the presentation, the gold filter, with the entrance, and then the AI photos of him just being celebrated like he's a war hero,
the mariachi band.
It's so well done. I'm sorry, it's so good.
And it helps the fact that he was wrestling one of the other best luchadors in the world right now, because El Grande Americano is the best luchador in the world
100%.
of all time. But Rey Fenix is a very close second or third, because you have to put Penta and Rey Mysterio up there.
He's the top 10 luchador in the world.
Yeah, and that backwards 450, I've never seen that before.
I actually haven't either. I
really
am
with
you.
Insane. I think
I don't know how he got much airtime.
I had of the weekend, apart from like Joe Hendry, but you gotta love Joe Hendry.
I just remembered a story from, because you just reminded me of the 450. So night one, we're at the Hard Rock for that watch party, and we're talking about intense, like how the main event was. We had the screen go off twice before, but the first time was when someone flipped off the other person. It was Seth flipped off CM Punk, so the screen went black, but it was Peacock just censoring. So we're like, all right, not a big deal, whatever. Haha. We get to Roman with the chair in hand, and he goes up and then freeze. It goes frozen. I thought there was going to be a riot. There was loud. People were loud and not happy. Cuts back. I mean, in my time, it was a half hour. In actuality, probably a minute and a half.
Yeah. You got blipped.
I got blipped. Because Paul Heyman is on the ground, low blowing and like really getting in there to his tribal chief. And I was like, what is happening? What the hell?
Oh, that's incredible.
That reminds me of another story though. It was the national championship for March Madness a couple weeks back, and I'm working that shift, and all of a sudden someone changes the channel off of the national championship. I thought I was going to have people jumping over the bar at me. I was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear to God. I'm trying to get this back on as fast as I can. Like, I have no idea who changed it. They never fessed up because they knew they were going to get a...
You're not fessing up to that crime.
No. Because you're getting a smack upside the head.
Oh, you're getting a smack outside the bar.
You're getting yeeted out of the bar.
Out of there.
But, yeah, no. During live events, you can't fuck up like that.
Oh, you can't fuck up.
No.
One last thing on Lucha Libre. Wanted to get your full-on thoughts on the announcement with AAA or AAA being acquired by WWE and like immediately getting featured in an upcoming event later on this year, and just what your thoughts on that acquisition means.
It's a very good acquisition. It is a very good purchase because AAA is like, at least in the whatever awards, like not bottom of the barrel. Like it does fine. It has great stars. Like JBL was there, but it's not one of the top ones in the world. Like it used to be, like it used to be, but they have a lot of great talent. And to make a deal like that with WWE, it's only going to enhance your brand. And with that, you could have a whole fresh crop of NXT Mexico coming in soon. You have LFG. What if you can do an LFG Espanol? Like there's multiple opportunities there. And it's the highlighting of talent, that something that I've been watching and learning about when I don't watch WWE. I watch MLW, one of my good friends from college, Victorious BRG. He wrestled over there, and I was talking to him about how insane the Lucha Libre is over, like the luchadors, because they'll have just luchador matches, and it's some of the shit that they can do boggles my mind, and the fluidity of it, the chemistry that they have, the high flying athleticism, like it all is just so insane. But you're never going to hear those guys' names. If you are a WWE fan, you're never going to hear those guys' names. By WWE buying them, you get to hear those names and get to see something that you maybe weren't able to see because they were the competition. But now that you're now homegrown talent, you can have scouting over there. It's like, oh, maybe they should get a shot in NXT. Let's test them on LFG to like mentor, whatever. Oh, maybe they got more talent. They can go up to the main roster, an appearance, whatever. There's just different avenues now to showcase professional wrestling. Triple H is doing a fantastic job of giving that to the WWE fans and who making the WWE fans wrestling fans now.
And it was nice to see Vikingo during night one of WrestleMania. That Pele kick he pulled off on El Grande Americano was just
in the front row,
out of nowhere. He was kind of boxed in, still able to pull that off. I have a feeling we're going to see him on NXT very soon.
Kyle, you need to look up El Vikingo de Hijo tonight. He's going to go by Vikingo because WWE likes to keep it short and sweet. Vikingo, he's probably one of my favorite luchadors right now. He had a match with Kenny Omega on AEW Dynamite. It's up right now as one of my favorite television matches of all time.
This guy with his face makeup on looks like a fucking White Walker from Game of Thrones.
Which one? Is that Vampiro?
It would probably be Vampiro.
I think
That's
it's Vampiro.
funny.
But yeah, it's going to be cool to see. And what WWE is going to do with AAA is exactly what they're doing with TNA right now. And TNA is higher than it's ever been before. I feel like its stock might be kind of higher than AEW right now, just because the AEW championship is at the bottom of the barrel right now.
Have you seen the AEW championship? It's like Carmen Sandiego. Where the fuck is it? Like where?
What is Mox doing with it?
He's keeping it hostage. He's keeping it hostage. All right. No one deserves it. Not even him. I have a lot of theories about that because I am still a fan of the Death Riders story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sicko.
You always have been.
I do. I love the Death Riders.
I was kind of hoping Mox would show up on at WrestleMania just to be like, yeah, I got the AEW title and I'm holding it hostage and I'm just doing whatever I want to do. So go fuck yourself, Tony.
Dude, I legit thought Jon Moxley was going to come out at WrestleMania 40 when the Shields song hit. So
I did too.
Wrestling can really make you delusional if it really hits you in the sweet spot. You have that, and then the Undertaker gong coming hitting. Yeah. I legitimately felt like my soul was coming out of my body. It was an out of body experience.
Which is why wrestling and Marvel are the same shit, because Marvel puts on a 6-hour live stream of just revealing actor chairs with names on them, and you're just trying to predict who's going to be in the next Avengers movie. Because it could be anybody.
It's between being a Marvel fan, a Philadelphia sports fan, and a wrestling fan. I'm just like the most delusional human being on the planet right now, because I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Abdul Carter. Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds and the Hugh Jackman and all these people are gonna be in Avengers Doomsday. And oh yeah, Jon Moxley's gonna show up at WrestleMania this year.
Delusions.
So yeah, Pat, take us. I guess we start with SmackDown. How was that in kind of like the build up to everything that happened afterwards, and how that kind of set the scene per se for the weekend? Do you think it did its job?
I think with SmackDown was it made me hype for Cody Cena. I will say that it did make me hype for Cody Cena. The exchange that they had was just, they were trying to hit knockout on every jab. They were throwing no punches, whatever. That was awesome. And the result that we got kind of sucked. But the show itself was a fun little, pre-party, kind of pre-game for WrestleMania. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
That cooked.
It also highlighted Karrion Kross, who's finally getting some recognition right now, getting loved, getting over on the IWC.
And deservedly so. He's been putting in the effort for years now with nothing to say for it. He got released by the WWE and brought back and still was just kind of not doing much. And this hatred for Logan Paul and the outsiders, it works for him. And he's a talent in ring, and he's so good on the microphone that he is finally getting the push he deserves. And I'm hoping that will also lead to a push for both Melo and Andrade, because they both pushes too.
Yeah, Melo, it was I'm happy he won. I hope he does something with it. Not when I say do something with it, I mean like, just use it in little segments backstage, bragging about how you're the best, and I'm like, Melo, don't miss. The Miz also helped him win it too. So doing something with the Miz would be pretty entertaining to me. So I'd like to see that.
Title feud.
Yeah. Like, why not? Like, why not tag team titles after this? Like, fresh restart. So I like SmackDown was a lot of fun. Really got me hyped. Seth's promo to start was awesome, and how he just mimicked Punk sitting cross-legged in the ring was awesome. Like, yeah, SmackDown was fantastic. Stand and Deliver, dude. Like, SmackDown was great, but Stand and Deliver remains my favorite show of the weekend. It was just good from top to bottom. That's what your next generation of stars is going to look like, and they're being trained and educated by the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels, you could not ask for a better farm system for your organization. And when you have two main events, realistically, the Fatal 4-Way women's and triple threat men's titles matches, they were good, but for different reasons. You know, the women's match was probably the best because of just pure wrestling ability. Like, those 4 women can go and they hit hard. With the men, that is just 2 giant dudes and a bounty boy in a ring. Like, but it was fantastic. It had me on the edge of my seat. It shocked me who won. You know, I thought that Trick May, I wanted Trick to win and then be the leader of Dark State, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Obafemi's gonna rule NXT for God knows how long. That man is a fucking animal.
WrestleMania 51 pits. WrestleMania 51.
Obafemi is so goddamn cool. That man is. You want to talk about a big man slapping man meat? That's Obafemi right there.
Dude, he better keep his man meat away from Michael Cole. Let me tell you that.
Tell Harrison the theory, because we were talking about this because I think it was Robbie Fox from Barstool tweeted that Michael Cole has now been attacked at WrestleMania 31 and WrestleMania 41. The Raw after Mania that's happened at 31 and 41. So I was texting Pitts as it's going on. I was like, so who is it going to be at 51? He said Obafemi.
It's going to be Obafemi.
It's going to be that.
Like he's gonna kill Michael Cole. He's not gonna attack him. He's gonna kill him.
It's actually going to be El Grande Americano's little brother, El Tall Americano.
Dude, it was insane. It was like, Stand Deliver was so good. And, you know, that was the main event. My favorite match was probably Fraxium and Hank and Tank. I was up and down. I was jumping up and down the entire time. I thought it was going to be just a nice little, you know, quick 10-minute maybe match. I'm pretty sure these dudes went like 25 and false finishes to insane spots. I think it's Hank. Hank's the security, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, Hank does the suicide dive out the ring, and then instead of sliding off the table like 99% of wrestlers do, this motherfucker just plopped right on the announcer's table and just went pose. It was unreal. It was I was going crazy. I was. And I feel like I didn't think they would win.
Fraxium losing the belts has to be a sign they're coming up, right?
A lot of people are saying that. Lot of people are saying that. What do you think of Nathan Frazier turning on Axiom?
I could see. Okay, yeah, they might hold off on them coming up just to have Frazier turn on Axiom, and then them have a big feud, and then them get back together before getting called up.
I think Nathan Frazier could be a major player with this new little faction we have.
He might
with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. A lot of people are saying Austin Theory. I love that theory too. Yeah. And
A-Town.
I would like to see Nathan Frazier though. Still need to add a woman. You still need to add a woman in there.
Yeah. Bailey, maybe.
Becky Lynch is the obvious. That's the obvious.
It feels like that's too obvious, but
come on.
This is wife.
Come on. It's a family business.
Yeah.
Also, Becky just turned on Lyra, so if we want to just connect some dots on the page, I mean,
and bring the women's Intercontinental title to this new faction. It's right there.
They're going to carry all the gold.
Yeah, because Seth's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship at some point. I feel like, or maybe Braun does.
WWE.
Yeah,
and then Braun wins World Heavyweight.
Oh my god!
That's how you build villains.
Yeah,
they take from the poor.
It feels like it's Evolution 2.0.
A lot of people are saying that. I don't want it to be.
I don't want it to
be. I want a little spice.
Because you got the old man, you got Paul Heyman instead of Ric Flair.
Yeah, Paul Heyman ain't wrestling.
He ain't wrestling though, but Rick was doing a lot less wrestling at that time, I feel like.
Him and Batista were tag champions.
That's true. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
So yeah, come at the encyclopedia.
Harrison's glowing like Seth Rollins right now.
Okay.
I'm the Monday Night Messiah, baby. The Wednesday Night Messiah. Call me.
And then you had a watch party for WrestleMania and everything, and I think since we've been texting since everything happened, you and I kind of agree that night one a little more exciting overall than night two.
Yeah.
What were your biggest takeaways from night one?
Night one, one thing I will say from night one, it felt like it was a big wrestling show. So I enjoyed it from the fan perspective in that, everything made sense for what they were trying to tell. And I was just entertained by the match, but they weren't it. You know what I mean? They didn't have that big feel, like big game, whatever. It just
like they were just good.
Oh, good. Exactly. Like I'm put it this way, I think I'm saying this because I didn't drop, double what I spent, triple maybe what I spent last year. So maybe that's just me, but it just was good. It was just very good. And then the night one main event saved the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really did. And I want to get your take on this, Kyle, because from a film eye, okay, did it feel that the main event of night one was shot differently or just had a different glow to it than the other matches on the card?
Now that you say that, yes. Like I didn't think of it in real time or
I just broke some glass in your head.
Now that you said that, yes, it definitely felt like you went from shooting like standard, 1080p, maybe a little 4K here and there. The main event felt like they were shooting on like the NFL touchdown celebration 8K Megalodon.
Yeah.
That's a good observation.
There's a reason for that, Kyle. There's a reason. And it's awesome. It's like that's what saved night one, because we're talking about that. When we think of night one WrestleMania, we're going to remember Paul Heyman double turning on two of his most loyal, one best friend and the other tribal chief, to turn and go with both their enemies. Like this, they're literally like day one enemy. Mm-hmm. Then you have night two, and it wasn't shot like that. It may have been, but night one just like sticks out to me more. They may have, but like whatever. Night two main event felt like I was in my own like WWE 2K25 playing because Travis Scott came out type of thing. Like it was a fine match. It was very slow. It was very 1980s style.
Yeah.
With how slow it was. And that's alluding to John Cena saying, I'm going to ruin wrestling.
He did a damn good job at that.
Just the slow pace match, every strike was just hitting, the moves, everything took a little bit extra time to get up to the rope, took a little bit extra time to get up. It was done on purpose, and I loved it. It was great. But the issue was,
and then just killing time, just like, no, you guys want to see a match? No, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to cool down. I know what I need to do. Fuck everybody else. It was so.
Who loved that match? It's the NFL fans who are like, oh, defense wins championships. Run the damn ball.
It was Kyle, because that's why I loved it. Because that's why the Patriots won some Super Bowls, was because our defense fucking rocked. So there we go. It was that. It was the Patriots beating the Rams.
That was like Buddy Ryan, like 1985 Bears WrestleMania.
Dude, that was 10-3 Rams Patriots. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It
was the exact comparison I made to you. I texted you and I said, watching the night of WrestleMania 40 when everything unfolded felt like Super Bowl 52, and you and I are both in agreement that even though your team lost to my team, still one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. It had cinema,
back and forth,
theatrics, back and forth between David and Goliath,
yards,
and then this WrestleMania, it felt like Rams Patriots, and it was just an absolute dud outside of Julian Edelman like popping off, and that was night one main event.
Yep.
Was Julian Edelman winning MVP in his performance. That was night one main event.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
Who was Travis Scott in the Super Bowl analogy?
Travis Scott, probably.
Gene Steratore?
Yeah, kind of. Like
who was the halftime show at
who was
Super
that?
Bowl 53?
No, 52 was
52 was Maroon 5.
52 was Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, you're right.
Dude, like, yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
Who was it?
Super Bowl 53 halftime show, February 3rd, 2019, featured Maroon 5 with guest appearances from Travis Scott and Big Boy.
You can't script this.
I feel like I just completed a Wikipedia race. Like, what? That was insane. Talk about continuity.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That was also the Sweet Victory Super Bowl.
Yes.
When they had the SpongeBob like performance.
That was Falcon. No, that was that was Rams. It was Rams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Super Bowl 53.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Travis Scott performed at Super Bowl 53.
Okay. With SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
like,
and Travis Scott could be Travis Scott in the analogy here, but I feel like he's more SpongeBob in this analogy.
He is like that, and great segue because like Travis Scott, to me, and this is gonna be a very unpopular opinion, but he deserved to be there. Okay, he did. He ruptured Cody's eardrum by punching him in the face pretty damn hard. He deserves to be there. All right, that's receipts. That's wrestling. Like, I don't care that he was there. His goddamn song Fiend is just
not to cut you off. Are you ever going to listen to that song ever again?
Fuck no.
If I hear it at a club, I'm going to have PTSD. I'm
You're
going to go and
I'm going
to go in shock.
You're gonna be
I'm gonna start twitching.
The 1,000-yard stare.
I can't do it.
Oh God! I remember when John Cena won with help from Travis Scott, and this is all I heard.
Okay, Grandpa, let's get you to your room.
That's what it felt like. It was so, like, Travis Scott needed to be there because of the receipt.
Yeah.
The issue I have is that the motherfucking Rock should have been there as well to give us more into what the hell he needs with Cena's soul. What are you doing with it? Like, what is your involvement? You know, what are we building towards? And that just needed to happen. I had, we'll say the ignorance, tomato, potato, that, all right, what, The Rock not being there, it's fine. Maybe it's building because Travis Scott was the one who cost him. Now, the next time, it's going to be Travis Scott. No. And then The Rock's going to try to help. So I'm going that step process. When The Rock gave his interview on Pat McAfee, it just crushed all my dreams. Mm-hmm. This man had no intention of building to something. This man didn't want to go to WrestleMania. Like, I get it. You're reshooting. I understand. But, like, you're The Rock. I'm sorry. Like, you can go off, like, you don't have to be on set 24/7. Like, the world revolves around you. You control what you are doing. Why can't you say, hey, listen, this is my movie? By the way, he's the fucking main character. Why can't I gotta go do this for the company that I'm kind of on the board of,
and who made me?
And exactly, like, homegrown. Got some roots there. Well, I need to go do this, and don't take a bump. I don't care. All right. Like, I'm at the point of my fandom where, like, I get it. Your body is your body. I don't want you taking even a scoop slam if it's going to really fuck you up. As long as your presence is there and it makes sense for the story, then please be there. But for him to not show up and say what he said about, the spotlight need to be on John Cena, it wasn't. If the spotlight was on John Cena, he would have beat him clean.
Mm-hmm.
But Travis Scott did a full entrance and then, like, essentially massaged his replica title, like, and then just, like, strutted to the ring.
Not only a full entrance, but a fucking 5-minute long. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna strut down to the ring. I'm gonna do it nice and slow.
It's like he was on fucking Baywatch.
Yeah, Another Rock project.
And literally, like, the spotlight wasn't on John Cena from my viewing. The spotlight of the weekend and the memorable portion of this weekend was Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Like this WrestleMania, I think more fans, if you ask them whether they're casual, diehard, or anywhere on the spectrum of like WWE fans, they will say when word association comes around WrestleMania 41, they'll say Seth Rollins.
So, in my opinion, there were 4 stars either made or highlighted in WrestleMania this year. I was going to say Seth Rollins, Io Sky, Dirty Dom, because that was a star-making moment for him. And then also Jacob Fatu, because Fatu getting his U.S. title belt, finally getting a strap, that is what he has deserved for a long time.
Kyle, you need to go look up Jacob Fatu.
He's so good.
This man, I'm going to sound like a lunatic when I say this. I would follow that man into war.
Yes.
He's going to get me out somehow. You think the bolt's going to stop him? The bolt's going to ricochet off him. The way he shakes and convulses his body? I'm obsessed. So and his music. Oh, it is. That has to be the song that got Def Rebel to keep their jobs. Because it, like, when I hear it, I go into like a trigger mode. I go into a trigger mode of locked in. Whatever is surrounding me, get the fuck out of my way because I'm in the zone. Like that type of shit. That is a star in the making. That I agree, Harrison. Like 100%. That is going to be someone who main events WrestleMania in the near future.
This might be a very hot take. Out of everybody in his family, I think he is the best wrestler in terms of in-ring ability.
Yeah. You're gonna get some hate just because of like
Roman Reigns love and Rock love.
Yeah, you're gonna get those super fans, those like weird, like
But he's so goddamn.
But he's so good. And it's not only that; it's his athleticism.
Yeah,
it's the shit he can do. Yeah, with his size, and he lost like 40 pounds, I think. Before
there's no reason a man of his size should be doing springboard moonsaults and the cartwheels and all that
supersets. He's doing like supersets of moonsaults. He's just doing one, like get back up and then do another moonsault. Well, you fucking not dizzy.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And I love his mic skills too. The way he uses hell as a period, as a transitionatory word. It's so good. He's so captivating.
He is going to be. I mean, oh god, he's someone that when you're watching him, you don't go to the bathroom.
No,
you're not hungry anymore. No. That snack can wait.
You're locked in. You're focused on
whatever he's saying. His cadence and how he delivers the promos, the intensity that he has when he's in the ring in every movie he does. It's like you get that like vibe from it, but like watching him, you just can't keep your eyes off it.
Yeah. It all stems from his debut too, where he just bursts onto the scene and mauls 3 of the biggest names in the industry, and Kevin Owens,
it's a hell of a start.
Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. It's just him.
It's all about presentation. It's just him for 2.
Yeah.
Now, I just had this thought too, to kind of circle back to The Rock not showing up, because I think that's where a lot of this fell flat too, where it's like the story's now out that like, they had The Rock come to Elimination Chamber because ticket sales were low and they were trying to, draw up interest and
bullshit. All right. I'm going to let you know right now that ticket sales are low is bullshit. I don't need SRS and Fightful to confirm that for me. All right.
Is it bullshit or is it Brahma shit?
Bunch of shit. All right, that's just all I got. It's just a bunch of shit. I'm so like, and The Rock is my guy. That's the thing. Like, The Rock is my hero. Essentially, I broke a VHS tape watching his Know Your Role video like over and over and over. You know, I watched the same Triple H and him highlighting a steel cage. I know where he went to go get his haircut, where he got his $500 button-down shirts, all that. Like,
it
that's
doesn't
my guy.
matter what your name is.
And his catchphrases, dude, like like from that to "No, you're rolling, shut your mouth," and just all that. Like, that's my guy. And for him to not show up in Vegas,
right in Vegas too, and
either Stone Cold showed up, drunk out of his mind.
Which we will touch on that because that shit had me on the floor. But here's my thing, and I don't know if it's fugazi or kind of just like non-kosher with wrestling. You could, like, in my opinion, as somebody who wants to be entertained, as somebody who is watching this for the spectacle, it's WrestleMania that breaks through barriers no matter what. You can be a wrestling fan, you cannot be a wrestling fan. You can throw on WrestleMania and still watch it and be entertained. Even if they had like the fucking Raiders Jumbotron and The Rock's face just shows up. You're the final boss.
Yep.
Whether it's that or like his voice just echoes through the arena and it's just like, make your presence known. You inserted yourself into this whole buildup of turning a shit ton of people's childhood hero in John Cena into this villain that now kind of feels like it's fallen flat in a sense, where it's like, yeah, he's doing the villain and the heel shtick, but deep down, like, everyone knows John Cena is not that. And there's nothing to continue like throwing seasoning into this recipe because The Rock said, I have other priorities, even though I'm on the board of TKO. I inserted myself at Elimination Chamber into this. But you know what? I'm going to send substitute teacher Travis Scott by himself to go and be the distraction for Cody. Like, there's so much you could have done in Vegas to make just your presence known, and he chose not to.
And what's killing me the most about that is that none of the promos that John Cena has given since the heel turn really have acknowledged The Rock in any way, shape, or form. And they're phenomenal heel promos, don't get me wrong. The whole shitting on the crowd and telling them,
classic.
I've worked my ass off for you for how many years, and this is my last year. And you told me I can't wrestle. Even at the height of my runs, you booed me. The John Cena sucks chance. And you booed Cody Rhodes the other day. He was fighting for you. Why are you booing him? But there was no mention of The Rock. If The Rock had never inserted himself into this at all, and John Cena had just turned heel of his own volition, and then we had no Travis Scott insertion into the main event, I would have been fully satisfied by that main event. If it was just a clean finish, not even clean. John could have still hit him upside the head with the belt, giving him a low blow.
Yeah.
But
they felt really like going back to Marvel, Kyle, like Green Goblin Spider-Man. Like that's really what it felt like.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes doesn't kill.
Yep.
Like
Green Goblin does. John Cena does now.
And that's what it felt like too. Like the whole buildup of last year, like when I got invested in the storyline, like you and I pitched, just like talking about everything going on as it built up to Philly, like it was this whole thing of like Cody's got to finish the story, and it was this whole huge thing.
Yep.
And then WrestleMania night 2, WrestleMania 41 night 2, that's how you have Cody lose the title after this whole build, this whole huge pomp and circumstance. Like a lot of people compare it to Star Wars as well, which I get that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like you have this whole build up to this guy like finally getting what he's worked his fucking dick off to get. And then you put on that presentation where, in the words of Brandon fucking Walker, you have a 140-pound rapper distract Cody Rhodes in the ring at WrestleMania, and that's how he ends up losing the title. It just feels very like inorganic and very flat, and like
it's a bad taste in your mouth. It definitely does leave a bad.
It's like you're eating the Harry Potter jelly beans and you get barf instead of.
Oh my god, no, yes, 100%, dude. That is yucky. Like that's what this main event felt, in a sense, was yucky. Not because I didn't want John Cena to win. Of course they did.
Yeah.
Come on. You're lying to yourself if you did not want John Cena to win 17 at WrestleMania in his last year. Like, I don't care what the story is. Like, dude, just make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. He is WWE at this point. The fact that it was Ric Flair of all people, like, they need to change the guards.
Yep.
And with what's going on right now, they can still pivot. They can still do other things. They can branch off and create something that's pretty damn good out of this little shithole that they've dug themselves in.
I feel like Backlash is going to be phenomenal. But whoever Jay's going to fight is going to be good. But the Orton Cena thing is going to carry it for 10 miles.
Yeah. I mean, on top of that, too, like there was so much fun about both nights of WrestleMania. Like, I mean, Pitts, I know your day one shit, Jey Uso. Like, you had to have been on cloud 9 watching all of that unfold.
It was satisfying. It was satisfying. And, I will say that I wish that Gunther passed out. That's my only complaint. Because I do like Gunther. He is exactly what they need from a strong villain. They don't have a lot of bad guys right now. Gunther is the pinnacle of it. Should have passed out. However, let's talk about the good stuff. Jey Uso winning was such a great moment to see as a fan who has watched him, not only just when he became main event Jey Uso, before that, right-hand man. I was watching him, dude, in high school when he was a tag team with his brother, barely getting on the pre-show.
With the face paint.
With the face paint, doing the Samoan tribal dance before their entrance. And their entrance actually was still sick then. After they did the tribal dance, it went to a sick beat.
It was so good, and they were just dancing on their way to the ring.
It's the vibes never changed. It's just got, instead of more fun dancing, it was just like, we are going to break your necks and snatch championships. To see that evolution and especially him being labeled as the weaker one of the Usos when they were the tag team champions and just in a tag team, you can see how hard he's worked. And what he has gotten over with the fans has been so organic. It's like it's one word, 4 letters. Yeet. Like, that's just all it is, to have fans just chanting it right back at you. And similar to the Joe Hendry dude who just tells you to wave your hands from side to side, Jay just tells you to do this a lot. And it's the fan interaction. It's getting Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, of all people, to be on your side. It's all of that. That is what makes a good world champion and a great guy to be put heading into this new era. The issue does, though, become like, what do you do after it? It doesn't matter right now. It really doesn't. Let's just live in the moment and see what happens, because I had that same thought, and then Sammy and Jimmy come out and we just yeeted everywhere. Like, what's going to happen there? All right. Like, all right, we saw where he's going. I'm happy.
I was terrified Sammy was going to turn on Jay there, but I'm so glad.
Everyone in my row was holding their breath. We were all looking at each other like, what is it? It's going to happen. Is he going to do it? Is he really going to do it? And then they just yeeted it off. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I can't. I'm already having a panic attack. I don't want to go back to work. Like,
that turn can come at a later date. Sure. Let that feud happen. But right now, let the friends be friends. Let them enjoy this moment together.
Yes, absolutely.
And I like that they did it like that.
What did you make of the return in the women's, Patty Pitts?
Man,
what did you make of the return?
Dude, the man's back. How could you not love the man being back? I was kind of shocked in a sense, because she did come out and say that she's not wrestling, currently. Mm-hmm. I should have taken it a little more literal, because she really wasn't wrestling at that moment. She was at a comedy club. I like the idea. It sucks for Bailey, because I'm a big Bailey guy. I would have liked to see her. I'm a hugger, dude. Yeah. One of the best hugs. And I would like to see her on WrestleMania, but you won the title last year. You're off this year. You're just being a good soldier, and you're going to make sacrifices being a good soldier.
Yep.
Becky Lynch coming back makes sense for elevating the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of people are talking about how her title reign has fell flat. Just walking around with a belt, essentially. Look at what Chelsea Green's doing over on SmackDown. Like, probably one of the most entertaining must-watch people to most watch people in WWE.
I think
you need
Matt
Becky to come
Cardona
out.
needs to become a member of her secret Hervis.
I think Matt Cardona just needs to sign, period.
Yeah.
But, you need to have Becky Lynch as a top star be in a top feud for the Intercontinental Championship to legitimize it and make it something that it's not just, the third match on the card, but it means something.
Yep. Absolutely. And when they announced that the tag team match was going to be the second to last match on the card, I was like, oh my God, Becky's coming back. There's no way.
That was the thing. Everyone said, and once they saw that, I was like, all right, Becky's coming back. We already saw her last night, cheering in Gorilla for her husband Seth. So it just felt inevitable to me. And I didn't mind. They won, of course.
And then they dropped the next day.
And then the next night they were gone, and Becky was like, F you, Lyra. You suck. You are the reason we lost. I'm going to beat the shit out of you and hit you with 4 manhandle slams, or 3, whatever it was.
It's a ridiculous amount of manhandle slams.
They just kept cheating one more time. Poor fucking Lyra.
It reminded me of when, what's his fucking name?
Bronson Reed, we're just hitting tsunamis.
Yes. I miss Bronson Reed on TV so bad. I hope he's healthy soon. I need more tsunamis in my life. He's a monster. I love him.
Here's a fun thing, because you were in attendance for it, Pat, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, because we saw like some of it, last year, and we've kind of seen it build up as soon as he's gotten involved with WWE. Is hold on one second. So basically, like, we saw like stuff at WrestleMania 40 weekend, and we've seen it since he's gotten involved in the WWE. Do you think the Pat McAfee show is a new era institution, not event per se, but like it's inserting itself as like must-see action, must-see TV as part of the schedule of WrestleMania weekend now?
It is an easy way for ESPN to put WWE on their programming while having someone like Pat McAfee be a great mediator between the two and connection, whatever, that will only put more eyes on the product. And it is must-see television. With Triple H on, I was there. I raced over there. You have John Cena on, Paul Heyman on. I woke my ass up at 6:30 and got myself first in line, because it was the nights after WrestleMania. It's the first time they're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
No other mic with an ESPN flag on it is going to be able, like, no mic is going to hit it before Raw. Then when you have to wait, it's going to give them that opportunity to say something, give you a little taste, give you a little reason why to tune in, make a viral moment, because everything now is just viral moments. Pat McAfee's show with these guys on is just viral moment after viral moment after viral moment, which is getting eyes on the product and that essentially just dollars in their pockets.
And it's almost like you go SmackDown night 1, night 2, then it's the Pat McAfee show after Mania, and then Raw after Mania.
It adds a nice element to it too. Like, that's one thing when I was watching wrestling as a kid growing up and an avid sports fan, if there was a disconnect, these backstage interviews, to me, they felt too Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see, it didn't connect to me, whatnot. And I always thought, why aren't sports networks covering it? I understand. I even knew at a tiny age that, like, this shit isn't real. Undertaker's real name is Mark, like I get it. And for a while, that was, I think, a big reason why they stepped away, where now they see the value in it and that it is something that is athletic. It's a sport, so it's a good thing for business. That's really like it's just anything that is a good thing for business. Triple H is going to do.
It's best for business.
He said it. Seth Rollins said it. Like it's whatever is best for business. WWE is going to do, whether you like it or not.
And I love the new segments that Triple H has implemented. The entrances from the backstage, where you see everything going on and you follow them to the ring. The watching them pull up in cars before the event. The interviews backstage feeling less Hollywood and more like a post game interview. It's really, really good, and it's a change from focusing more on the entertainment aspect of sports entertainment and more of a focus on the sports aspect of sports entertainment.
Look at Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond covers the NHL.
She's amazing
all season long, and then she comes and does Monday Night Raw. That is the type of person you need to have on your show, because that's someone who works in the sports world and can bring that over into the entertainment side to, no, I don't want to say legitimize, that's not good, but bring a more of a sports focus to it.
Same thing with Tessitore.
Yeah, exactly.
Tessitore has been top 3 favorite hire of the year, including talent.
Phenomenal.
He is exactly how a sports play-by-play guy should be calling wrestling. Not taking it too serious, playing along with the bit. If there's a heel, he's going to call it down the middle, but he's a little disgusted. He didn't like how that was won. Type of stuff. That is what makes WWE levels above anyone else.
Oh, it's Logan Paul's goon, and he's got the brass knucks. He's here at every single one of these events.
It's like little shit like that, detail. They get it because they do it for professional sports.
And
because sports fans and wrestling fans are just one's, ugly stepson or something.
I love how Tessitore and Barrett play off of each other. They play off of each other 100%. Perfectly. It really does remind me of JR and Cole when Cole was the heel commentator.
Oh my dude. This McAfee Cole is the best comparison or similarity is King and JR.
Yes.
They are this era. That is what Netflix wanted. You're not going to recreate the Attitude Era. You never will. But how can you build upon it? You can get stuff like Pat McAfee to be commentating, and he just shows up to work. Unless he's going to be in a match or he's going to need to get physical, then he doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
You know who else doesn't know shit? Me. Yeah. You. Because we're fans watching it. If you have that mentality going into it as an employee and someone working it, it's going to have a ripple effect on the fans for beneficial reasons.
And I'm glad that it's not like the Attitude Era. I think if you want WWE to be cool again and to be successful as it has been, you need to do something new. You can have similarities. Yeah, you can bring back the blood. You can bring back the cursing. Just separate it from the PG era in a way that is different from separating it from the Attitude Era.
The entrances are a good start. The entrances, the backstage segments that flow into one another. Random superstars backstage, have a camera on one of them. They're walking. Oh, there's a conversation as you're panning away. Oh, what are they talking about? That is very cinematic. That is very film Hollywood, where it's not in your face Hollywood. It's just, it's not in your face Hollywood. It's done very well.
It's just so good. And it helps that the in-ring action is better than it's been for 20 years.
Oh, it's fantastic. The moves they're doing, the emotion they pull out of you when you think it's over and you get a false finish. The sequence is something that I've seen evolve in watching. It's like the sequencing of back and forths. That's like the build to, the chop, and then there's a move, like that type of stuff is only getting better with what we're watching, not only on Netflix and WrestleMania and all that, but like NXT.
Yeah. Oh, NXT for a development brand, it's genuinely up there with Raw and SmackDown.
I hate to break it to you, Harrison.
It's better.
No, it's not. That's why it's not a developmental brand anymore.
It's not a developmental brand.
Evolve, LFG.
Yeah. Those are
developmental brands. All right. NXT has legitimized itself.
It's winning the Tuesday Night Wars.
No, it really is. Like, bro, it is the best combination of young talent that's green and just gritting their teeth, paired with veterans who have not only spent time on the main roster, but also time on the indie scene.
Mm-hmm.
And know that type of background where you have someone like that come in, they can coach that way and then help them wrestle into the WWE style.
And having Shawn Michaels run it all is just perfect too.
That's icing on the cake, dude. Shawn Michaels, like, talk about the man who put Vince through hell and did everything, from the craziest shit to, not some good shit. That's a leader. That's someone with experience that knows what's going to work and what's not. That is someone who stood up to the network and won.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want leading the ship.
Yep. Absolutely. It's so good. And it speaks volumes that you can bring Joe Hendry onto NXT like he was the other day and have him just seamlessly flow into it. It's just, that's how good the writing is.
So good.
Since we haven't spoken much about it, Pitts, what was your immediate reaction when Joe Hendry comes in to wrestle Randy Orton?
I just smiled. I'm like, my genuine reaction was just like, I smiled because I did have a hinge. I was like, I saw a tweet and I got a guy like, it's going to happen. Like they're going to fucking do it. And then when they did it, like just cheese and ear to ear.
You're like, my job here is done.
Oh my God. It was awesome. It was like, he did it. We have a TNA wrestler making his WrestleMania debut. TNA
Not
World
only
champion,
a TNA wrestler, the TNA champion.
TNA World Champion. WrestleMania debut against Randy Orton in his 20th WrestleMania. Like that.
Randy sold for him too. Randy sold for him.
Yes, Randy's a fucking pro. That's why. Like everyone, and this is my message to the people who say that he got buried.
No.
Right here, pal. Right fucking here. He didn't. All right. I don't want to come off as a mark or anything, but like the words get thrown around in the IWC way too freely. And buried is one of those terms. Just because someone who has a lot of star power, rising star power, is getting beat in not a long time by a top star in the company, kind of makes sense. Sorry. It's a show. All right. Joe Hendry and Randy Orton are not going to go out there and put on a 25-minute banger for the TNA World Championship. They're not. The whole point of this match was it was supposed to be Randy Orton taking on Kevin Owens. Bitter feud. We probably would have seen some sort of stipulation. And then you're going to have Kevin Owens go away for a little bit because he has to have neck surgery. A legitimate thing. Like it's even gone like to the point where Randy and KO are not hating each other anymore. Like they're friendly. Like it's over. Like that long gone. We're praying for his health. So you need what's the next best thing. And everyone was thinking inside the box with all this. I'm guilty of that. Thinking, oh, he might just strap on the boots one more time. No, why not give it to a guy like Joe Hendry, who has all of the fans, not only in TNA, but wrestling fans in the world behind him. You have a song that if you've been on Twitter and have a friend that has liked a wrestling tweet, you know this fucking song. So like
That guy right there.
That's WWE having an ear to the floor of what's going on. Like it's smart.
Yeah,
I love it.
And there is no burying Joe Hendry at WrestleMania. The fact that Joe Hendry was at WrestleMania at all is the biggest W of all W's you can possibly imagine. He deserved his spot. He got it. He made the most of it, and he did it against Randy fucking Orton. The second biggest guy of the past 20 years other than John Cena, in my opinion.
He is. That's everyone's number 2. It was Orton before Punk.
Yeah. And just the fact that he was there all is just so cool. And the entire stadium was singing his song, chanting his name, was there. You saw the tears in his eyes as he made his way down the entrance ramp. He was like, because he's never wrestled in front of a crowd that size. And for what it's worth, in that 4.5 minutes, he put on a hell of a show.
He did.
And he took a great bump on that RKO.
Dude, that that's an all-time RKO.
Oh,
the pose. That was the persona that was RKO out of nowhere in a nutshell. And out of fucking nowhere.
That was Internet 1.0 because that's like how I was introduced to Randy Orton. Was like the early days of YouTube when Randy Orton would get like old school video spliced into like skateboarders, like just grinding down a rail, and it's like there's Randy Orton slithering down the RKO, and then the skateboarder just collapses and like breaks their fucking clavicle.
Watch out!
And the other best thing was Randy Orton doing the Joe Hendry spin and pose, and then into his thing. It was incredible, everything about it. And then I love afterward how during his post-match interview, Randy was just like, "Yeah, I love the guy. That was a whole lot of fun, and I haven't been able to have fun in the ring in a while. And so you take it for granted, but when you're able to have fun, you have fun."
At his age, he doesn't need to go after a championship at WrestleMania. He just needs to be there. How can he be there, have the most fun, and walk away with a, smile on his face? Putting over a guy like Joe Hendry and then seeing his wife backstage and going home. Like that is how Randy Orton should have and absolutely did spend WrestleMania.
Yeah. And I love that Randy Orton recently, we haven't seen him without a smile on his face in a long time. He's just grinning. He's happy he's there.
It's awesome. It really is awesome.
Going into the Cena feud, it's going to be weird because it's always been Cena's the face and Orton's the most evil man alive. But now Orton's just this goofy dude who likes hitting RKOs whenever he possibly can. And Cena's the biggest dickhead in the WWE right now.
I think Matt Riddle kind of rubbed off on RKO with how that's my MLW champion, Matt Riddle. I can't believe
it. He might be partaking in a little bit of the sessions.
Last bit before we touch on the Raw after Mania as well. Pitch your thoughts on Dirty Dom. Who you calling Pinhead?
Dude, Dirty Dom is so incredible. That man is over. All right. Him going from the most booed person, the most hated heel a year ago, to having the entire crowd cheer for you as you win your first championship on the main roster, especially the Intercontinental. Big deal. It's not that shocks me. It's the running back from the ramp, passing Finn, and then going up, getting that second. I actually have, my Travis Scott title, going up like this, and the crowd just erupting even more. That shows how it's awesome. It's awesome.
They were eating chicken tendies out of the palm of his hand.
Yeah, damn right. It was incredible. Like Dirty Dom Mysterio is so fun to watch.
He's the best Intercontinental Champion of all time, according to
greatest
Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
The greatest Mysterio of all time.
He might be. Cena said that on McAfee.
He
might be, dude.
His
I'm
evolution over the years too has just been incredible to watch, because when he came onto the scene, you could tell how green and fresh he was. He wasn't hitting the moves at how they should be, but he was learning. He was soaking everything up like a sponge. And now he's really technically good in ring. He puts on good matches week in, week out. And he hasn't done anything to turn into a face. He's still the same cocky, jackass type figure he was. But there's this charisma and swagger about him that you can't help but like. You got to be on his side. He's just that much fun.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Raw after Mania, I think, had moments that were better than night 2 of Mania.
I agree.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Raw after Mania
is always
it is always the must-see show, obviously, because like the start of the new season and you know, people return, all that stuff. In the past few years, it sucked. It really has. It's
the best thing we had last year, Ilya Dragunov.
Exactly. This year felt important. It actually felt like, okay, something's cooking this year. It's not just like all focus on Cody. Happy Cody won the championship. Oh, he's gonna defend it. Oh, he's gonna win it. Yeah. No, this feels like something is brewing here for a story that potentially concludes at WrestleMania 42. You know, I see something cooking that will have us following it until New Orleans. So,
and it's going to be Braun and Seth. I have a feeling that Seth wins the title at the World Heavyweight title at some point this year, and it'll blow off next year with Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, maybe versus CM Punk in a triple threat match for the title, and Braun Breaker winds up winning.
I could see both guys hoisting belts at the end of WrestleMania 42. Like, that's kind of where my head's at, where this could go, you know, show to show, not just Raw Netflix.
Yep.
And you know, there's so many different ways they can go now with the mind of Triple H. So I'm not as trigger happy with my predictions and what I think, because I just don't know. I just have no fucking idea. But that's the beauty about being a fan. I don't want to know. I just want to know what I need to know for the next episode.
And Rusev coming back is just so awesome too.
Dude, that pop, that pop was so, in my eyes, like nonsense. Like, it was like, that was, I don't know. It was hilarious. I would have liked to see it in English, but you know, whatever. But no, it was awesome. It was great to see Rusev back. So
I'm excited for this Friday when Aleister Black returns to WWE, because that is for sure happening.
It's the vignettes have been there, you know, the smoke, and there've been pictures and whatnot alluding to obviously Aleister Black's former gimmick. SmackDown's gonna get fun. SmackDown's gonna get a lot of fun. They have a lot of talented wrestlers, and they have a lot of guys that are more wrestling heavy than talk heavy. Sometimes that's what you need from a B show.
And the tag team division in SmackDown is better than the tag team division on Raw.
1,000%.
So
that's why they're in a TLC match.
This TLC match is going to be absolutely incredible. I think Motor City Machine Guns probably win. It's either going to be them or the Street Profits.
Who's don't DIY. Well, then again,
DIY's not winning it.
I got my boys, the Motor City Machine Guns. Been watching them since friggin'. I've been watching Chris Sabin wrestle since he was like 19.
They are
43 now.
They are so good. Like, they might technically be some of the best wrestlers on the roster. The two of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I just wish that they weren't announced pre-show when they debuted. I wish they had just come out and the shock of everybody, here's Motor City Machine Guns. One of the greatest tag teams that's never been in WWE, and here they are.
Mm-hmm.
But that match is going to be incredible. I'm excited to see where they go with the women's US belt. Because I love Chelsea Green. She's amazing. She's the best.
Chelsea Green is my president.
Yeah, stand and salute, motherfuckers.
Dude, I met the Secret Harvest. All right, I networked a little bit. It was great.
Yeah.
They recommended a couple places for me to try out in Vegas. Like
Cool.
I pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green.
She's so goated. She's so goated. And her interviews too, when she's not in character and breaking kayfabe, she just seems like an awesome person.
Oh, her interviews with CVV and others is another one I see online. That's someone who gets it.
Yeah,
that's all I guys really like. Gets it. Chelsea Green gets it.
Did you see the clip of her talking about how she came up with using the Unprettier as her finisher?
The what?
Her using the Unprettier as her finisher?
Yeah.
So, Kyle, if you haven't seen it, she was talking about how she was using this move, and this move is popularized by another one of the greats, Christian, who used to tag team with Edge.
Fellow Canadian.
And it was before her first ever win, and she had no idea what she was going to use as her finish. So she just runs into the bathroom at the venue she was at and starts looking through finishers online. And she's like, I can't pick someone up. I can't do the acrobatics. I don't know what I'm going to do. That one, I can do that. And so she goes out to the ring and she does it, and she adds a jump. And when she gets to the back, all the people in the back were like, you added a jump to the Unprettier. I've never seen that before. That's something really cool that really adds to the move. And she was like, well, it's my move now. Suck it, Christian.
She's one of these. What's up, girl?
Yeah.
What's up,
one, obviously, the Joe Hendry moment was one of the most memeable things from WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But the two biggest memes were curated because of Randy Orton. Raw after Mania, when Randy Orton is just looking
slithering.
at John Cena like a fucking piece of meat.
Hello,
and the sign behind him, it just makes it that much more perfect.
What, the Hogan hates unions?
Yes. That is just all time.
Yeah.
And what was your thought on Randy Orton just doing an old slither down the aisle and fucking popping Cena with an RKO, and also Cena having the wherewithal to know that he still had the mic, and the last thing he gets out is shit.
Yeah, like again, why Cena is John Cena.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so focused on Cena, and when he said get your cameras out, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, something's gonna happen, of course. So I haven't panned on him. And as a wrestling fan at a live event, you can't have eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
But you got ears too. If you hear someone do like that or whatever, you got to start eyes on a swivel.
Yeah.
That happened. I pan over and it's just fucking Randy Orton just standing there, just like, what's up? Just stand there, and just it popped. I did not see him come through. Apparently he slid in. I saw a video online. He slid in under the ring before the show started.
There's a little roll, and then the little roll out.
Oh my god, like so good. And that's an RKO out of nowhere on John Cena.
He like apparently walked in too with like the crew that like makes sure the mat is down properly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his hoodie on and everything, and he's just in the mix with them as they're like checking to make sure the mat is like
and he rolled it. Yeah,
and he rolled it out.
Yeah. So I was watching. I was getting ready to go into work, so I was just watching it on my phone, sitting on my bed, just like, all right, I'm gonna watch this segment, and then I'm gonna get in my car and go off to work. And I see Randy Orton, and I just start fucking slapping the shit out of my bed. I'm like, we're getting it. We're getting the feud I've been dreaming about for months.
Hell yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was wild. And then obviously you have everything happen with Seth and Paul Heyman and everything at the end. where do you think, because obviously you've also taught me this, Pitts, that like, Raw After Mania is like episode 1 of a new season. Where does season 42 take us on an epic journey of adventure and, as you would say, nonsense, to where this WrestleMania, Raw After Mania, has built to?
We're going to see. I'm not going to predict that Cena and Rollins will intertwine yet. I think that's way too specific to predict. But when it comes to what we've seen already, we're going to see Seth Rollins take over the WWE. We're going to see Braun Breaker emerge as a top star in the WWE. And right now, we're seeing, on that side of the story, we're seeing Roman Reigns lose everything. We're seeing Roman Reigns, who ran the WWE for 4 years, lose everything. Has no wise man, no title, no nothing, no family, boom, nothing. It's going to be that redemption story, getting back everything from the man he hates the most in kayfabe WWE. Mm-hmm. And with Punk, because it's still intertwined, they're all connected. Punk is going to have to get revenge for Seth taking his best friend, all that. And we're going to see Roman and Punk have to realize that, we can't do this alone. We need each other in that way. When it comes to Cena and the WWE title, what we're going to see there is top star. Like, we're going to see Cena go on the heel championship reign that he just should have got, or whatever, his final run. And we're going to see a different type of cinema with this and Cody Rhodes, and what it's going to take for him to get back, that championship. Is he going to have to align himself, with a Paul Heyman? Is it going to have to come to that? Is he going to have to, call in backup and, do a little faction of his own? I don't know. But those are the two biggest stories that feel like they're going to be the most long-term, heading into next year's road to WrestleMania.
I got a couple things off of that. First, I don't think we see Cody until SummerSlam. I really don't. I think he's going to take a couple months off, let WrestleMania breathe, do a thing like Roman did last year. Mm-hmm. And when he makes his return, it'll feel all the more impactful, because he'll probably return after John Cena retains again. Mm-hmm. And he'll walk down to the ring and he'll be like, I want that back, the belt you cheated me out of. Mm-hmm. And secondly, did you see Paul Heyman's face when he low-blowed Punk versus when he low-blowed Roman? Because that told a story in and of itself.
Was it shot? Nah, I can't think of it right now. But
he was kind of distraught when he did the low blow on Punk. He was like, I didn't want to do this. You're just collateral.
Oh, Paul's reaction. Yeah, Paul. Yeah. Oh, Paul, you put me. Yeah. No. I thought you said Seth's reaction. No. Paul's reaction was, how could you do this? Like, you put me in that position to choose. You should never put me in that position. And it was collateral.
Yeah.
Where Roman Reigns, that felt like it was another thing coming.
That was personal.
That was, dude. He turned like freaking turning his junk around up in there.
He was making sure that the bloodline ended after that.
He turned his junk heel.
Yeah. But it's just incredible.
Didn't you miss me, Pitts?
That was going. That was going.
And I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm excited to see the eventual Punk and Roman versus Braun and Seth match that we are definitely going to get. And it better be Seth and Braun who wins that. It has to be.
It's going to be.
Because we still need to keep Roman on the chase. We need to keep Punk on the chase too. And to have them lose out the jump would just be a travesty. This Lyra and Becky feud is going to be amazing, and it's going to elevate the IC title even more. there's going to be a Dirty Dom versus Finn match that will break up the Judgment Day, and long time coming, as it should be. I'm hoping Fraxium comes to Raw and helps out that tag division, but I also really want to see Fraxium on SmackDown because them in that tag division would go bonkers.
Yeah. They need to be called up. I will agree with that.
And I'm hoping that Big E gets cleared soon, just so he can maybe take the tag titles from the New Day.
With who? Rusev?
Possibly Rusev.
Do you want to see a Big E? I kind of do.
I kind of want to see a Big E Rusev team up. That would be a whole lot of fun.
That would be a whole lot of meat.
A whole lot of man meat. A whole lot of man meat.
You've heard of Yeet, but let me introduce you to meat.
Meat.
We just cut back to Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman.
Jiggle your junk.
It's like the fucking bear.
And this is kind of a dream match that I'm hoping for now that we know Aleister Black is coming back. But Aleister Black and Jacob Fatu could cook for the U.S. title. Maybe throw Andrade in the mix. And that would be a whole lot of fun.
It would be sweet. I would like to see that.
Because Andrade deserves another push. That guy is his elbow might be the cleanest move in wrestling right now.
I will agree with that. It is a clean move.
I think the only thing cleaner might be Roman Reigns' veneers. Those things look like fucking silver platters the way they were on full display all goddamn week.
Looking like the vampire teeth.
He looked like SpongeBob when he yells overtime.
Oh, God.
Like, buddy, we get it. You got new teeth. Good job. Congrats. Got piano keys in there.
There's just so much that could come following WrestleMania that WWE is going to be must-watch television going forward.
Roman Reigns won't be able to because Paul Heyman twisted him up.
He's still screaming over there.
Well, and now he's got like 5 broken ribs from the spears he took from Braun Breaker.
My God. Yeah.
What's worse, his broken ribs or Stone Cold's broken ATV?
Yeah, dude. Good segue. Good segue. Because we need to wrap it. Yeah,
we need to talk about that. That man was drunk driving the whip.
Dude, he missed the on-ramp to get to the stage.
He had a beer.
What?
He had another beer. What? And then I got on my ATV. What? And then I started talking about my cats. What? And then I crashed into a lady. What?
So, all right. So the lady he crashed into, everyone thought it was this content creator, Wheezy Blonde. And there was going around.
Up in the
no, she was at the stage. Yeah. So everyone thought it was her. So they're calling her out like, "Boo, you left!" Because she left like at the same time for another fight going on in her suite that had nothing to do with her. But she's like, "I'm going back to WrestleCon." So she left, and everyone's like, "Wheezy, like you should have stayed. Like you could have got the bag. Like you could have got free tickets. You could be the next green shirt. Like all this stuff." And she's like, "Guys, I not there. It was not me. I hate to break it to you. It's tough."
But that woman is getting everything from the WWE going forward.
Dude, she didn't even get hit. All right. Milk that.
If it was me, I would be like, "Oh, my neck, my back."
Milk. I would just milk the shit.
She's gonna get a whole
like hood.
Fucking, like
just show up with the neck brace the next day. Stone Cold Steve Austin broke my neck.
I got ran over by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Put on a t-shirt.
And all I got was this t-shirt.
No, but then I think my favorite part of that segment is him slamming all those beers and then just being like, fuck the ATV and walking up the ramp.
Just walk back. No, get the feel back. And then went over to the woman. Well, went over to the woman and said something. Nick Khan had to go over. You sit in front row, had to go over to the seat, check on the woman.
I bet he said something like, "Hey, sorry I hit you. You want a lifetime supply of Stone Cold IPA or Broken Skull IPA?"
Have you had the Stone Cold IPA?
It's good.
Very good.
It's better than that Real American bullshit that Hulk Hogan's swilling.
Okay, so they were selling that at WWE World.
Yeah.
I did not see a line for that beer once. I'm just gonna let you know right now. I didn't see a line once.
Say the line, Pitts. Say the line. Fuck the Hulk.
Oh, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck
You
the
kidding
Hulk
me?
Hogan. It should have been him instead of Macho Man, who died in 04. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I hate that man.
Mm.
He's baby back bitch who hates unions.
Last thing for me, this has been so much fun. One, for the casual fans, what's the next thing that they should watch, Pitts? And then on top of that, where do you think this McAfee Gunther storyline goes? Because Pat's ready to go.
Yeah, Pat's ready to go right now, Gunther. Like, don't you come at my guy. The only thing I'd say about Gunther McAfee is to let it play out. Something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do something with Michael Cole
and
McAfee if it's not going to build to a match, So, and to me, this is the only direction for Gunther because we saw a darker, more vicious side of him during the Jey Uso feud, and the fans want more of that.
Mm-hmm.
They want more of that ruthless, soulless Gunther who will just attack anyone to get what he wants. And right now on the roster, there's no one more beloved, at least internally, than Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. So go with that. You can do so much with it. It's just like you have his boys there. McAfee can fight. Cole has some in-ring experience too. It's got to build something there.
McAfee can find a champion to take on Gunther for them.
This isn't the $1 billion. McAfee's getting his ass in the ring too.
I know. But wouldn't it be cool if they called up like Obafemi or like a Trick Willie to do it for him?
They'll probably come out. That could be like a main roster thing, like
Yeah,
debut or something. But and the next thing to watch, Kyle, is for sure Backlash.
Yes.
Like you're not all right. It's a casual fan. Pay-per-views at the most. Like to keep you well informed. You're following on social media. Like, and if you're not, well, I'm retweeting. So there you go. You don't need to tune in every week to Raw because you're a casual fan. But there are going to be some Raws coming up. Any Raw scene is coming on, definitely. And don't expect The Rock to show up at all. And when you least expect it, he will.
Yeah. And a good person to watch on Instagram or TikTok. Keep up to date with Mr. Santi's app because he reacts to all the Raws and the SmackDowns, but he condenses it all down so that you can get the full content of a show in 10 minutes of scrolling.
There you go. You just followed Sarah. I don't know where my follow is, but
I was also disappointed John Cena's full heel outfit was just not Peacemaker, especially because James Gunn tweeted a congratulatory tweet to him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but
damn it. I wanted Peacemaker.
His entrance made so much sense, though. He said he wanted to take everything away, and that included taking away the spectacle of WrestleMania. And also, what the hell was Cody's entrance? With the
Iron Skull.
We got Tony Rhodes.
Tony Rhodes.
I hate you 3000.
No, I'm talking about the dirt bikes though. I was watching that. I was texting my buddies.
My boy was ready. He was joining Nitro Circus.
That was wild. I was like, Evel Knievel?
I need to take that clip and just splice over the Jackass theme song.
Yeah.
Cody walking. I'm Cody Rhodes, and this is WrestleMania Excite Bike. Absolutely incredible. I do have a smidge of news here. because Pitts did make a new Twitter account, so I'm going to pull that up here. Pitts, I did selfishly wait until you return to the Underground Airwaves to follow that Twitter account because I felt it was only right that we didn't lose the sanctity of Patty Pitts in the Underground. So I had to wait for you to make your illustrious return. So you will be getting follow backs from the accounts.
Oh, the accounts. Okay, yes. I thought you
and myself.
I thought you already. Do you not follow me?
No, I didn't realize I wasn't following you. Because I think it was one of those things because you made a new account and Twitter doesn't let you know that someone followed you unless they're verified now, which is so fucking stupid. Shout out to Spaceboy, not really. But
yeah, no, I went full. We had to get rid of that. We had to evolve. We had to evolve. So I made a new one. It's wrestling centric with nonsense and Boston stuff. So yeah,
we also have the first official Joe Hendry Topps WWE card. And it's him getting RKO'd by Randy Orton.
Oh, I saw that.
And the caption is, say his name and he appears out of nowhere.
That's good.
Is phenomenal.
Pitts, leave the people with this, and hopefully you're around. I'll send you the link regardless. Our NFL draft first round live stream going down on Thursday night. Who are the Patriots taking and why?
Dude, Abdul Carter, because I want Mike Vrabel to turn him into an unleashed animal. Travis Hunter would be cool, but no. I want Abdul Carter. I want a pass rush. I want the defense to be scary and the offense to just score. You don't have to be the highest scoring team. I don't fucking care.
I will say I would much rather see Abdul Carter playing for the Patriots than the Giants.
Yeah.
I can handle Abdul Carter going to this era of the Patriots.
But it doesn't really matter because in 3 years he's going to be an Eagle anyway. So
it's very true.
I hate all of you. I hate every.
Oh wait,
that
also speaking of, can you just acknowledge us as Super Bowl champions? Can you acknowledge us?
Acknowledge your tribal chiefs.
Has it been that long since I have not?
It's been a fucking while since you've been. Harrison came back on full time, co-hosting the Thursday night shows in October,
just after our birthdays. Yeah.
I'm back.
He's back. Everyone asks. Everyone at the company asks, when's Pitts getting back in the mix? When's he coming into the mix? We miss you. We love you.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here when I'm available. I'm here.
He's in the mix. So here in breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. Pat Pitts still works for Underground Sports Philadelphia.
Yeah, technically.
He's still a part of the squad.
Yeah. You just gotta. Someone's got to sell the fish. Someone's got to talk about the wrestling.
I love that. I love that is your go-to line to just deliver what you do during the day. To like where it's like someone's got to bring home the bag. Yours is just someone's got to sell the fish.
Someone's got to sell the fish. I gotta do incredible. That. Oh, thank you guys for having this.
Awesome. No Nights Off is the name of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the logo. Pitsy, let everyone know about the show, where the new social handles are, and I'm glad you're back, man. I fucking love you. I fucking miss you.
Love you guys.
And
this was fun.
We'll have to do this more.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this.
Next month?
I don't know. We'll see. So follow me on Twitter now at Patty Pitts, and it's D's not T's.
He threw some D's on that shit.
Because I got more. Yeah. I couldn't come up with a witty joke there. Shame on me. That's tough. But no, at Patty Pitts with D's, and then on Instagram, same thing. No Nights Off show on YouTube.
He's on TikTok too. Follow him on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok at Patty Pitts as well. I've been posting videos a day.
Your TikTok's been popping off.
I've been trying. The one at WWE World was exhausting. I was exhausting. I was Sarah's in line to meet John Cena, and she's like, "Oh, you want to?" I'm like, "No, get me. I'm gonna go find a Papa John's and House Pizza." So, at Patty Pitts on TikTok as well. No Nights Off show on YouTube. We have 23 close to at least almost 2,300 subscribers and growing. And we have the No Nights Off TikTok as well, where we post show clips from the show. So No Nights Off show on YouTube as well.
Follow the boy. You do great work. I texted you the other night. I was like, I can't wait to see you in a fucking WWE press conference.
Dude,
I genuinely mean that because you're going to fucking kill that the day that happens. And love some breaking news on a nice little WrestleMania recap that Pat Pitts still does, in fact, call the Underground home.
Have to.
Delco Danny sends his regards.
Fuck Delco Danny. That stupid shit. I'm gonna hit him with a little RKO out of fucking nowhere. Motherfucker scared me in my sleep when I had to sleep down there. Dude, I like wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, oh, random television sports thing. You look over, Delco Danny's right there. I don't want to
say his name and he appears.
I can't believe we just got Joe Hendry by Delco Danny.
Pitts believes in Delco Danny.
Oh yeah.
You're the fucking man. What a show. What a life we live. Shout out to Pat Pitts for hopping on with the boys to break down his 2 weeks out west. I can't even imagine. But Harrison, we did get some breaking news at the end of our sit down with Patty Pitts. Mm-hmm. Confirmed. Pat Pitts is still part of the company, everybody.
Hell yeah, he is.
As he said, someone's got to sell the fish.
Yes, sir.
But Pat Pitts is still part of the company. It was great to see. It's been a while. We found out July of 2024 was the last time he graced our airwaves. But after a long hiatus, what an illustrious return. Definitely check out No Nights Off with Patty Pitts and Sarah Marshall doing their thing, covering all things wrestling and doing it in the best way possible. So good to have Pat Pitts back on the airwaves and you two connecting for the first time in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of wild.
It was fun. And I still have fond memories of the time up in Boston too.
The old Pitts Cave MTV Cribs episode.
Oh yeah.
Just a doozy of a time. Last little segments here. The NFL draft is upon us. As you guys are listening to this, it'll be Thursday, and the NFL draft will be here. The Eagles are picking 32nd. Harrison, can you remind me why?
Oh, I think it's because we won the goddamn Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We won the motherfucking Super Bowl. So it'll be a long night, obviously. We will be live on YouTube for the entire first round, though. So if you want to come enjoy watching along for the entire first round of the NFL draft, we'll be live on YouTube reacting to every single pick. It's going to be a fun time. I figure, every NFL draft that rolls around, typically we have like #MyGuys on the draft board. We've done some mock drafts. It feels like it's been mock draft season for an eternity at this point. But Harrison, I figured we narrow it down. We give the people our list of anywhere from 3 to 5 of #our guys that we want to see the Eagles take with pick 32 or in the draft in the first round. Obviously, we know, Howie Roseman is a certified, bona fide wheeling and dealing menace when it comes to draft night. But let's give our list of #our guys that we want to see Howie Roseman and the Eagles take in round 1 of the NFL draft.
So everybody's saying that we're going to take Jihad Campbell out of Alabama, and I'd be real good with that. He's a damn good linebacker, and at that spot, beggars can't be choosers. We already have a good linebacker core, but he could slot in very well and learn from these guys, especially from Zach Bond. I would also like to see Malachi Starks as something we brought up post recording Top Vins. Wouldn't it just be funny if we put that audio of John Kruk talking about how his child with thought it would be named Malachi. That'd be fun, but that'd be another addition to our secondary. Walter Nolan, another great choice. Something shore up the D line. And I mean, Mike Green as an edge rusher, that's who we've been linked with all draft season, and I think he'd be a great choice as well. So those are my guys.
I'm going to give my guys as well, and there's a lot that I agree with. Walter Nolan is certainly one of my guys. When we were doing mock drafts earlier this year, Walter Nolan was a guy that I love taking. I think he is a 5-tool blue chip defensive tackle prospect in this draft that if the Eagles are able to draft him, I'd be thrilled. Malachi Starks is obviously also on my list. I just don't know if he'll be in the range for Howie to trade up to get him if he does not fall close enough for the Eagles. But obviously, I feel like he'd be a day one starter next to Reed Blankenship. He is that talented, and he's another Georgia Bulldog. So you just add another one to the mix. Another player is Kenneth Grant from Michigan. If Walter Nolan is off the board at some point, there's links that the Chargers may take him at 22, I think is where they pick. Kenneth Grant's another guy that I really like. Championship pedigree at Michigan. He's a stud. I think he would fit perfect in this defensive tackle rotation. So give me Kenneth Grant on my board. Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Everything I just said about Kenneth Grant, just change the name. It's the same type of situation. I think he's wildly talented as well. And then for some strange reason, I know you also brought up Mike Green, but I also think over the past couple of days, a lot of these, draft analysts and mock drafters and everything like that have been talking about, and I don't know if it'll be like the second round or something, but there's a lot of buzz around the Eagles taking one of the blue chip tight ends in this draft too. Whether that be whomever, there's like 4 guys that I've continuously heard over the past couple of days the Eagles tied to at the tight end position. It feels like a tight end's going to be on the board for the Eagles. I don't know if they go round 1 tight end. I'd be shocked, quite frankly. But that's something I've been like paying attention to. Daniel Jeremiah also like subtly leaked some stuff that he was talking to, quote, one of the better GMs in the NFL. And it's so evident he was talking about Howie because Daniel Jeremiah was a scout for Howie Roseman on the West Coast for the Eagles for a number of years. So there's some stuff there. I also would be shocked if they don't go defense in round 1, just to continue adding to this young defensive core that they have and just building, replacing the guys that left in free agency. You already did that. You have your Nolan Smiths, you have your Moro Jomos. Nakobe Dean will be back from injury, obviously, next to Zach Bond. You have Quinyon Mitchell, you have Cooper DeJean. It's one of those things that now you have to replace the fact that Moro Jomo and Nolan Smith and guys like that are now going to be thrust into the roles that Josh Sweat and Milton Williams were playing. Now you need to just replace the depth there. And I think that's how the Eagles have been so successful. They've replaced the depth before anybody realized that they needed to replace the depth. Mm-hmm. And the offense is veteran laced. The offensive line is locked up. Cam Jurgens signed an extension through 2029 earlier this week as well. Shout out to Jurgy. The offensive line is locked up. Jalen Hurts is signed, sealed, delivered. Also, congratulations to Jalen Hurts and his lovely wife, Bree.
Mm-hmm.
Officially married, officially announced in Men's Health. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith signed long-term. Saquon Barkley signed long-term. The only question mark is tight end, and I think they'll address that in this draft. So I'm not overly concerned with like the offense, and I know everyone's like talking about like the Eagles going after a slot receiver at some point. I'm like, we still have Jahan Dotson under contract for another year. Will they draft a receiver maybe day 3, sure. But I'm not like overly pressed for a slot receiver in the draft, especially early on. I think tight end will come either round 2 or round 3, depending on how the board falls. But defense, I think, is where we're going to see a majority of these draft picks used, as well as depth on the offensive line.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a defense and O-line heavy draft this year, just because that's where we've lost the most key pieces.
Yeah.
And I trust Howie's vision. I implicitly trust Howie's vision. So
this is a big replenish the depth draft.
Yes, exactly. Because this team can go back to the playoffs and go far. So as long as we have the depth, we'll be good.
And I think it's like replenish the depth. Round 1 and round 2, you attempt to find starters or guys who will be in the rotation as starters if it's on the defense. And then you just go from there and you build out the rest of the roster, because this roster is still wildly talented. There's still a shit ton of guys from the Super Bowl team on this roster. And they're going to be competing for a Super Bowl again in 2025.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree.
Last bit here, I figure I'd get your thoughts too, Harrison. The Flyers made some firings, and we no longer have to deal with Rocky Thompson power plays ever again.
Thank God. Because, it was a rough season to watch. There were a couple bright spots, but that power play,
the lack of power play.
We were better. We scored more goals on the penalty kill, it felt like. So, yeah, good.
Who is your ideal hire for head coach?
Oh, that's a great question. I haven't been keeping track of it too much, to be honest. I would love to see a former player come in, honestly.
I was going to say, is it crazy that I kind of want Ian LePerriere to be the head coach?
Lappy would be cool. I want to see if someone like Wayne Simmons has been taking coaching classes, because he would be a great locker room guy.
That would be fun.
I think that would be a lot of fun. You would have to do your research to see if he would be able to be as good of a coach as he was a player. But he's the kind of guy who understands the culture in Philadelphia very well, and I think he'd do a damn good job at it.
That just jogged my brain, and I'm trying to see what this human is doing right now.
Who are you thinking?
I don't know if he is still actively doing this. Chris Pronger?
Ooh, Pronger.
But it also feels like he's more in like the executive type.
He's definitely an exec type, but it'd be a lot of fun, which would probably never happen, but this is like a pipe dream of former players coming on to coach. Dan Carcillo. Bring back the Broad Street Bullies. He's just like, hey, fuck it, boys. Just go out there and beat the shit out of them.
Dan Carcillo is a fascinating social media follow, too. He's been like, he's like very at the forefront of, because he's obviously like had a shit ton of concussions in his career. Yeah. He's very much at the forefront of doing like research with
that's cool.
Mushrooms to heal concussions and brain injuries and stuff like that. And his pinned tweet from 2024 is, after 10 years in the NHL, 164 fights and 7 diagnosed concussions, I was a shell of myself when I retired in 2015 at the age of 30. I was being told by doctors that I had mild dementia symptoms that needed to be managed and were incurable. I would not accept that diagnosis, and in 2019, mushrooms found me, and I began to heal my brain, body, and spirit. 6 months into a specific regimen of natural medicine, exercise, and diet, I received clear brain scans and blood work. If you're a concussion survivor who would like to learn more about a routine that has helped hundreds of individuals, please visit my website and join the mail list for an upcoming weekly webinar. But he's been like at the forefront of like mushrooms being like a way to fix like traumatic brain injuries. it's fascinating to like follow along with what he's doing. He's somebody I would love to have on this podcast.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude. And a very interesting dude, lived a very interesting life, and he's still very young. So
I also would
pick his
love Chemo Timonen.
Oh, Chemo would be awesome.
Do you know what Chemo Timonen is doing right now, according to his Wikipedia page?
What?
He apparently owns several restaurants and nightclubs in his hometown of Kuopio.
Oh, hell yeah.
What a legend.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Flyers, it's going to be a fascinating offseason, I'll say that. But it feels like Danny Briere is at the forefront of making the necessary changes, and I've always believed in Danny Briere. I think he's really fucking good at his job, and I think it's only going to continue to progress with him at the forefront leading this organization because he's somebody that wants to see this organization succeed. Also, Jaden Daniels met Alex Ovechkin.
Hell yeah.
Hilarious. Those segments, though, brought to you by our friends over at Devereux Golf. Guys, the Truist Championship is coming up here in Philadelphia in just a short, like less than 2 weeks. And your boy is going to be decked out to the nines in Devereux Golf gear. It's truly making golf fun with their amazing styles, designs, and just merchandise capsules. Devereux Golf is the golf brand for the Underground Sports Philadelphia fan. Use our link in the description. Check out everything Devereux's got on their website. Harrison, they've got this sick, absolutely iconic like sweater vest type situation with a scorpion that has the golf like T flag in its tail and a golf ball in its claws. Need to get it. I need to get it. Just some sweet stuff. They also have this awesome skull icon sweater vest that I'm gonna get, which is just like a skull with a golf hat on. It looks absolutely sick. I'll be wearing that at the Truist and a whole lot more. Use our link in the description, and when you go to checkout, get 15% off your first order from Devereux with code WELCOME15. It's code WELCOME15 for 15% off your first order from our friends at Devereux Golf. Guys, what a fun episode this was. Very fun episode. Shout out to Patty Pitts once again. Again, tune in 8 Eastern time on our YouTube channel. We'll be live for the NFL draft. It's going to be a doozy of a time. It's always a fun time with our NFL draft streams. Myself, Stevie Mack, potentially Harrison when he gets home from 10 into the bar. You might be home in time for the Eagles pick. And a whole lot more to come. Hoots will be reacting to the Broncos pick, Deej to the Packers, Steve to the Giants. A whole lot going down. Definitely tune in. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 736 of Phillies What the Fuck? Pat Pitts WrestleMania breakdown return and an NFL draft mini preview of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Pat Pitts, I'm QNN. Just kidding. For Patty Pitts, for Harrison, I'm your boy KB. We will see you live for the first round of the NFL draft on our YouTube channel. I'll be kicking it with you on Monday to get your week started off right. Hopefully the Phillies figure it the fuck out and the Eagles have one hell of a draft pick coming in and multiple draft picks coming in by the next time I talk to you guys. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here and we are signing off. Peace.